Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to a Nemo and Friends video. Usually, I try not to swear in my videos, however this next video probably does contain foul language, such as the nature of live conversations. Be warned and enjoy. Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome again to the Starsector Fleet Building Tournament. This is day 2 of the Prime League, of the arguably the better balanced and more well-known mods, I guess? Is that how you describe it? I've got Dizzy here with me to provide color commentary.
Hello.
Would you describe the Prime League as sort of the more balanced and more well-known mods?
I would say more conventionally balanced as defined by the organizer.
It's defined by the organizer, fair enough. I guess.
I'm still salty about No Trino, just saying.
Yes. Really? Okay. No, because there was a neutrino, because no one... Neutrino dropped out, didn't it, of Underdog League?
On Underdog, we had a couple dropouts. We don't have Neutrino.
I thought Neutrino dropped out. I think Neutrino and Nomad dropped out, I think.
Yeah, Neutrino and Nomad dropped out. We didn't have any dropouts in the Prime League that I know of.
Thankfully.
I could be mistaken, though.
Right, anyway. Let us begin. Not new game. That's not exactly what I want. No, not new game. Missions. Okay. So... Day 1 last week was against Derelicts, which was pretty much focusing a lot on high explosive and working through a lot of armor. Now it's Pirates, which is a bit of... You start with like some low-tech shields now, and a bit more inventive with their ship types, you say?
Yeah, there's a lot more variety you have. It's Pirates, so basically anything's possible, but the baseline is that it's going to be inefficient shields and very low armor.
Yes, but so if people haven't changed from last week, which I think they have, they should still do quite well with his Pirates, because again, there's not many shields to worry about, as you said, and the armor is relatively weak. It's just amount of weapons pointing your way, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about how BlackRock works, though, because they do have such a beam focus. I don't expect them to do poorly, but they probably need to do a little bit of a pivot in order to keep up with the shields.
I wonder if we're going to get the hero Kuramaja again. Kuramaja.
Oh, I bet it'll do plenty of fantastic things.
Cool. Anyway, we shall begin with the first people, who are the low-tech. Now, from what I can check from last week, low-tech has added an Onslaught to the mix, with Hephaestus Assault Gun, a couple of Mark 9s, 4 Inferno Launchers, and the mix of like Heavy Maulers, Arbalists, and some Point Defense, which is like a solid loadout for an Onslaught. You can't really complain about that.
Yeah, and it's always good to have a capital.
Yeah. And then 3 more of the balanced enforcers. So, Heavy Mauler, 2 hypervelocity drivers, and 2 flat cannons, which is the same enforcers they had last time. And
yeah,
I think
the
that's
little long-range escort ships.
And I think that's everything, because how much was the increase in price from like last week to this week?
This week the budget was 100,000 credits higher, but also they got refunded the value of the ships. They're only paying the supplies.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So how expensive is an Onslaught?
From my recollection, an Onslaught will come out to like 250 grand with weapons and everything.
Yeah. Because they said that some I've seen some other fleet ships, they really they gut out some ships and just have the very basics, and that's a fully loaded out Onslaught.
Yeah, Raccoon just said in chat that he had about 400,000 extra to spend this round.
Oh, cool. Anyway, let's get started. We have to do all 12 today, so I'm going to be speeding up as whenever I can, just because to get through all 12.
Yep.
Anyway, begin.
Well, you'll have me.
Yeah. All deploy. Alright, so it's Saint number 6 versus Inventor Raccoon. What's the number we have? Just 700 below cap, which is, I like when you're close to cap.
Oh, and I see we can, in the tactical map, actually see the AI doing the orders.
Yeah, so they went for a defend order between the... I guess because this time we actually have multiple points to defend.
Yeah, there's multiple objectives, and there's a very big fleet, so they can definitely organize pretty well.
I haven't actually watched. I didn't actually end up watching the stream on Tuesday, so I'm not actually sure what we're fighting against. I see a couple of scythes with annihilators, a couple of shades. Is this just like the showcase round like we had last week? This is what the pirates can have.
It's kind of generic stuff in the first round. There's nothing too fancy. Something I will point out that I thought was really amusing last week, and I'm still kind of giggling over, is all those spaceships seem to have extreme modifications, so their engines are blowing up constantly.
Well, one enforcer there's taking a brunt of it. It took like a couple of shades worth of EMP, and it's being focused down by a couple of flame hounds as well.
Yeah, that enforcer got caught out of position pretty early, so it's losing some armor. It's an enforcer, so it has plenty to lose though. So
yeah,
we'll see if that actually affects anything.
Oh, overloaded striker, which someone pointed out to be quite helpful that it's an SWP mod, not a vanilla mod ship.
Yep.
But yeah, that took overload, took a bit of armor damage. Low tech has a lot of armor to spare, but
the striker has less so to lose though,
yeah.
And its mobility system is basically only moving forward, which causes a bit of a problem once its armor goes away.
There we go. The Enslow's got its engaged now, and once they all engaged, things just start dying.
Yep.
You gotta appreciate the thermal pulse cannons just like going, hello.
It's a beautiful weapon system.
Although this is kind of a personal choice. It was like mentioned in my comments of a YouTube video once of letting the thermal pulse cannons be alternating, because then the AI can choose which one to fire, which tends to save on flux a lot more. These ones seem to be linked, which does mean he's wasting 1 TPC worth of flux and damage if he can't get a big enough target.
And yeah, that's definitely true. It's something that I don't remember who mentioned it originally, but it's something I try and remember to do every time I have an onslaught as well.
We've actually formed like 2 battle lines, which is quite nice, because it's pirates versus low tech. It's pretty much low tech versus low tech. It's just a lower tech versus low tech.
Yeah, it's low tech without the qualities that low tech has.
A Buffalo Mark II on the side there, really? It is a Buffalo. Those are a mongrel. It's a Buffalo. So it's like it's a flying target. Is what it is.
It's trying to be useful.
Bless it, you know. I could do things. One thing I did like last week about the low tech and versus the drones, and it's going to work this week, is like the double Gungners and the Vindicator, because I love that gun. And
oh yeah, I agree. That was one of my favorite parts of last week's stream.
Mora taking actual hull damage here.
Oh.
Which must have been fluxed up too high there to use the damper field, because it actually took hull damage.
Or it got hit by something big. Oh, it looks like it might have been hit by a Reaper or a hammer.
So because I get to say things, you get to see it like happen maybe like 15 seconds afterwards, so maybe you can check what I missed.
Yeah, I basically, if you point something out to focus at, I can look at it and see if there's something that, like you said, you missed.
I miss
as I was
a lot
saying,
of
the
things.
Vindicators are great to watch, especially fighting those derelicts.
They still do quite well versus the inefficient shields and the weak armor of pirates as well. Oop! Onslaught going straight in there. Into the middle of what, 7 ships? Onslaught cares not for your things. Although a striker's at 50%. A striker really got caught out somewhere. Where do you go? Where's the nearly dead striker? Oh, must have gotten caught out by one of the Colossuses, maybe.
The striker that was injured is halfway between the left and the middle objective, a little bit in front.
Yeah, I see. Like, it must have got hit by the Colossus fighter wing, or some damage from the mule. I couldn't really tell.
Well, there's a dead buffalo near it, so maybe the buffalo decided
suicide run. Yeah.
Oh. Something that I saw a lot during testing with the derelicts, especially, is that they like to burn drive into things before dying. That might just be a trait of shieldless ships.
I wonder if there's like a way to do like really like, because I've seen like what supposedly are like ram ships before, but they always seem to have some sort of gimmick to them. Is there a way to do ram ships just like on numbers alone, rather than having a specific ram module or something?
Yeah, ramming's a bit tricky with the AI. It doesn't really know how to do it yet.
Ooh, I think. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what happened there. I think it was just in time that the wave ended just before the Vindicator shot hit that striker in the back.
I think it hit a little bit. There was a small glow, but yeah.
Now we have what looks to be a lot of frigates. This is a frigate swarm. Torches, Cerberuses.
This wave was a lot more dangerous on some of the fleets last week than you would think.
I can imagine. Numbers, like it tests like, the fleet's ability to deal with like large numbers.
Large numbers and very fast, hard to hit targets. And with ships like the kites floating around with shields, or the little beam tigers, they can absorb some of the pure high explosive loadouts.
That said, we have a full kill feed, although an Enforcer's gone overloaded again.
Yeah, low-tech's, they did pretty well last week, and it wouldn't surprise me if they continued that pattern.
But like low-tech has like consistently done well in every single tournament, I think, because low-tech is just generally really good ships.
Yeah, they're very well-rounded. They're well-rounded out, and they're usually lower cost than the high or even mid-tech. And especially for this endurance, they're durable.
Yeah, they can well, flux out and not necessarily immediately die. That said, that's another harpoon. Oh, ooh, very close, but the striker just managed to pull out. Oop, there's my phone. Stop making noises, phone. This is not good. That's me being unprofessional.
Yeah. I can call out follows and stuff.
That's cool if you want to do that.
Yeah.
I'm very thankful for everyone who follows me.
So am I, but I haven't been able to figure out how to make it visible on my screen.
I use Twitch alerts. I think it's called now.
Twitch alerts.
Yeah.
Like a phone app?
I think it's a website. Is it called Stream? I think it might be called Streamlabs now. It's like
I use Streamlabs, but I mean making it visible on my screen.
Oh yeah, it's just like what do you use to stream with? OBS?
OBS, yeah.
You could just put it in as it's a browser capture.
Yeah.
Oh, and Enforcers on. Oh, the Enforcers have it low CR. Really? Already?
That Striker is in a bad spot, though.
That Striker is got a couple of a Tiger, a Kite, 2 Tigers. Is that a sidecar? Have they got a sidecar?
I hope it's a sidecar.
That's a sidecar. That's a sidecar. And it's gonna. Oh. The Enforcers are the Enforcers running safety overrides?
It doesn't look like it. It looks like they have way more range than safety overrides will allow. They might have UI though. Unstable injector.
Hmm.
We haven't checked.
We didn't check. I'll check afterwards. Because they're. Oh, hello. Oh, Pather fleet.
Yep. Wave 3 was a crusher last week. A lot of people couldn't make it.
Nice Pather fleet. Here we have an onslaught. Let's examine the enemy onslaught. Ooh, Dominator's. Friendly Dominator taking his half hull damage.
Oh yeah.
Dominator down. Dominator down. I think it took a lot of rage from a lot of things, but Dominator down already.
Ooh, yeah, it took hammers to the engine from the fighters, and then the Colossus Mark II or Mark III, whichever one it is, I think finished off.
Mark II, yeah. All the onslaughts have ill-advised modifications, don't they? I think.
Yep,
all the Pather fleets. Ooh, Striker down as well.
The Dominators and Onslaughts on this Pather fleet are the IVP variants.
Of course they are. That's a safety override. Is that the safety overrides onslaught then?
Yep.
Oh, good heavens. Oh, that's a Vindicator down, I think. I can definitely see why this is a Gatekeeper.
It can't duel close up with the Onslaught.
The Onslaught's got a lot of time just to pump into the side of that thing.
And a trying to help, but it's not working.
Yeah, and Reaper just finishes off the Vindicator there.
You hate to see that happen.
It is horrible. It hurts. It physically hurts.
Yeah, I think low tech just doesn't have the speed to outmatch what it has right now. Whether they haven't lost yet, but it isn't looking great.
Not yet, but the Onslaught just took about a third of its health.
Yeah, that fighter wing combined with the Dominators laying on Denver with Annihilator Rex.
Yep, and it's got too high flux, it can't put its shield up or it'll flux out, so it's taking a lot of Annihilator damage to the face.
Yeah, and the fighters keep coming back in with more rockets. It looks like it's just a matter of time. The Enforcers can't help it.
Yeah. One of the other Moors is overloaded as well, but I'm just kind of focusing on the Onslaught right now because that's kind of the keystone right now. Like, they're not necessarily vital for a win, but if they do that, a lot of their staying power is gone if the Onslaught dies. And everything's going on low and going on a low combat rate in this now. Northern Force at half health.
It's fascinating how well this wave managed to out-CR the player fleets. You wouldn't think that happened, but it's happened a couple times.
The enemy, yeah, their Onslaught just took out 2 Enforcers back to back, double kill over there, and it hasn't even been scratched. That enforces that also has taken maybe a smidgen of like armor damage to the port side. Other than that, it hasn't been touched.
Yeah.
All the big guns haven't really been focusing on it.
No, it took out the Vindicator early on. Vindicators are not built. The Vindicators in this fleet anyway are not built for close quarter fighting.
Ideally, what would have happened is the Onslaught should have taken on the Onslaught, but the Panther Onslaught just ignored the low-tech Onslaught whatsoever and just went after everything else. And now the Onslaught with two Enforcers as backup, they're just chasing down individual frigates and destroyers and just knocking them down.
Yeah, it just stabbed right through the middle of the fleet basically, and is finishing off stragglers.
See if the Allied Onslaught can actually pull anything else off. What do these Dominators have? They've got Mark 9s and a decent amount of point defense as well. It's not difficult, not easy to get to them with missiles. Although the Warthogs are doing a job.
Warthogs always do a good job. They're reliable little ships.
Yeah. The thing is, it was early in 0.8. I got like a bias against mortars, so I never really used Warthogs anymore. Although it's a bit silly. Yeah, they are. Mortars on a ship aren't great, but Warthogs definitely. Three mortars on a wing of 3. That's a lot of. Is it wing of 3, wing of 4 for the Warthog?
I think it's 3.
Yeah, so it's 9 mortars. Just nothing to be sneezed at.
Yeah, as Caroy just said in chat, look at how long this Onslaught's been fighting that Dominator. Dominator isn't even half health.
Yep. And there you go.
It just shrugs off.
Enforcer down. And now that Onslaught has to deal pretty much with about 7 ships by itself.
The Moras are not, they're struggling to do anything useful right now.
Well, the Moras, all the Moras fighters are near the Onslaught right now. And it's now trying to deal 1v1 versus the Onslaught, whereas the Onslaught is currently dealing with a Dominator in front and a Dominator behind. The Dominator behind is pelting the engines with annihilated rocket pods. That is genuinely very terrifying.
Yeah, these are mean loadouts of the Dominators.
Yeah.
It's a very simple but very effective strategy of high damage kinetic weapons and then persistently firing missiles.
I'm not a huge fan of the small annihilator pod, but the large annihilator pods are fantastic.
Smalls can be good on frigates, but yeah, other than that, they're...
Well, I think it's because like the smalls have this bit of a spread, whereas the actual like medium pods are deadly accurate.
I don't know. So going into point 8, the AI is actually proven itself really capable of using that spread effectively and actually getting all the rockets on target.
I think we're left with 1 Enforcer and 1 more, and 1 Vindicator, who's like in the back, hasn't really done much, I don't think. I don't recall seeing that Vindicator in combat at all.
No, I think it floated off probably to the top left or something and just missed the onslaught. But yeah, I recommend at any point, give a Lasher like auxiliary thrusters and a couple Annihilator rocket pods, and it'll kind of wiggle itself to land every rocket on target.
Oh, nice. I'll see that happening at some point. So I do like how the AI makes certain things work that I wouldn't even think of. The AI just does because it's like the optimum thing for it to do. Well, we're down to 1 Vindicator now.
CR before it died.
Yep, and they're both down now.
Like I said, it's weird to think about, but the Luddic Path fleet seems to CR death a lot of enemy fleets.
That's a... Maybe it's good because the waves are taking longer in general, but I feel that these fleets has CR a lot more often.
Yeah. You wouldn't think of low-tech losing a CR war to a bunch of ships with safety overrides.
Yeah. Oh, goodbye, Vindicator. That's trying to angle the armor, but they can't do much now.
No, unfortunately. All it does by angling the armor is taking its main weapon out of the fight.
Yeah. By the end, that Onslaught's taken a little bit of frontal armor damage, but it hasn't touched the hull. Nothing. Wave 3 vanquish.
I wouldn't be surprised if these Luddic Path ship variants also had automated repair units, just to keep with the persistence.
Well, that is wave 3, or 2 points to Inventor Raccoon's low tech. That was brutal. That Panther fleet is definitely painful to deal with.
Mm-hmm. It only gets worse from there, don't worry.
Hooray! I want to see as much as I possibly can. Right, so what's new from the mid-tech fleet? As far as I can tell, the Hammerheads were here last time, so it's three beam Sunders with attacking lance, 2 gravitons. Anything else? Specifically, ITUs and advanced optics, and a single salamander, and a couple of point defense.
4 monitors, if you haven't noticed that.
Yeah, 4 monitors, just point defense, and with fixed forward shields.
Yeah, fixed forward shield because that turns it into a bubble shield.
Oh yeah, of course it does. Yeah, it doubles the shield rate. The shield arc is actually currently 600. But
yep.
Silly. Yeah, they're just there to soak damage. They're just there to soak damage. And how fast are they? Well, 115 with the instable injectors, so it'll be interesting.
Sigh says there's new Eagles, Sunders, Monitors, and another Hammerhead, another Albatross.
Good lead. Good God.
So the Eagles are new.
The Eagles are new. The Eagles oh yeah, they definitely are new. There were Falcons before, I think.
There was just the one Falcon.
Yeah. So it's double HVDs, Maulers, and Ion Beam as point defense on the Eagles. And was it a new Hammerhead as well? Elite version 2.
Yeah, one more Hammerhead.
With double heavy Mauler, Ion Cannon, Light Needler. Oh yes, there was a lot of Ion effects. I did like the Ion and of course the Victory, which is of course something we're all a huge fan of.
Everyone loves the Victory.
Yeah, it is a beautiful, beautiful ship. And a couple of Capesh wings. I think no, there must be more than that. It just doesn't load here.
Yeah, it caps off at that many ships on the screen.
Yep. Anyway, let's begin. Let the slaughter commence.
Let it go.
They haven't gone for Defender this time around. They've decided to go full on. Saint number 6 versus Sigh at about 2,000 under, 2,025 under. So
reasonable.
Yeah. Against the ship.
Oh, the Victory, I remember now, it has the 4 Aegis turrets, which might help them a lot against the Path. Because the Ludic Path fleet has so many sustained missile weapons.
Like, getting past 1 Aegis is hard, getting past 4?
Basically impossible.
Yeah. As long as the Aegis manages to get like the right job and it actually manages to face off against the Onslaught. If the Aegis gets like ignored by the Onslaught and doesn't manage to engage it properly, things might happen. Although, of course, now that we are... The problem with like low tech is low tech, if it can't take on the shield, it takes armor damage, which is permanent.
Yeah.
Whereas the higher tech you go, they start taking more and more. Oh, hello. Never mind that. The Sunder just took... Sunder's about to go down. A Sunder just went down from a couple of wolves that just jashed in and wrecked it as far as I could see.
Oh, you hate to see that happen.
Yeah, ship down in the first wave. That's rough. Especially a Sunder with attack with attacking
lance. Fascinating loadout. It's a mean loadout.
Yeah. It's a shame because it's a very nice Sunder as well. Double attacking a lance and double gravitons is very nice.
It's a fairly standard loadout. It's pretty expensive to fit too.
Which is why losing it this early on is a huge shame.
Yeah, because the Tachyon Lance is what, like 70 grand.
It's a great weapon. It's a beam weapon that totally works as burst damage because it can totally go because it does so much burst damage. It can actually go through shields. It actually properly fluxes shields.
Like it's a burst beam that reaches the full distance instantly rather than having that run up. Because that run up is really annoying for beams that use long range.
I guess with Fortress shields, the monitors have nothing to worry about until their CR starts going down.
Sigh says the Tachyon Lance is 25k, so I guess it's not as hilariously expensive as I thought it was. But still, with everything together...
God, Dizzy, what do I pay you for? Jesus.
Yeah, it's worth the cost, definitely. And it's going to be really supply efficient going into next round, because he's spending so much on weapons.
Okay, so we got to see the Afflictors are down. I thought they were Sighs, no, the Afflictors are down. This has gone slower than low tech, I think. Everyone's staying back a little bit more.
Well, yeah, because low tech has a lot of very, very brutal loadouts that are built for killing things relatively quickly. The only reason they don't kill things quickly is they're just slow themselves. Mid tech here is a bit faster, but they have a lot of ion and kinetic weaponry, so they're a bit more crowd control-y.
I wonder if Sigh would like to tell us what kind of officers he's got to put in his ships as well, because they definitely feel a little bit more cautious than what the low-tech was wielding.
Well, keep in mind also they have less forward mobility systems. Maneuvering jets is really good, but it's no burn drive for claiming ground.
Yeah, you have the maneuvering jets on the Falcons, and you have the whatever the Victory's version is called, maximum drive, I think.
I don't recall.
But the Victory has like that. It's like a cross between maneuvering and burn jets. Burn jets and maneuvering drive. Oh, there we go. We have a Colossus falling to a lot of. I wonder how useful the ions are going to be this time around. Because versus the derelicts, they had no shields to worry about, so the ions always hit. Now we have a little bit of shields to worry about.
Yeah, it'll probably get a bit concerning, the ion against the Luds, because they don't have to vent to remove their flux. They'll probably be flipping their shields on and off. It's going to be hard for them to get through the shield with ion.
I'm also thinking ahead to next week, because the Remnants have really good shields.
Oh yeah, the Remnants are going to be an issue, but at least the Remnants are a bit easier to overload, I would say. Because when they're at high flux, they're kind of stuck there.
Yeah.
When you have safety override, the flux that the ship has is basically whatever you want it to get at. No one can really tell you to stay at high flux.
I'm gonna love it when the Victory just wades in and says, "You know what? I'm gonna charge you and have all my guns firing at you." The Victory it's just so versatile depending on what weapons you can put on it. It can literally go like, it can be like a close range brawler, it can be a very good like artillery ship, just depending on what you put on it. Because like that Victory's hammering things. The Victory does nothing else. That's the Victory's sole job, is to hammer things.
The Victory has one job, and it's its namesake.
Yeah, to win.
It wins, exactly.
Is Victory vanilla? Sorry,
No, Victory is ship and weapon pack. It's like a super conquest. And yeah, as I was saying, one thing I forgot to consider while talking about the ion weapons is that the ion beam does arc through shields at high flux. So while the safety override ships and the light path fleet aren't going to overload too often, they probably will stick at somewhat high flux. So I guess we'll have to see what happens.
Right, now we have the frigate fleet. I'll do what I did last week. I'll just give my little personal names for the fleets. So we have the Showcase fleet, level 1, and then this is now the frigate fleet, and we have the Pather fleet, and then we'll name them as we go along.
Yep. I would tell you about the other ones, but I
don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. I'm interested.
Exactly. I want your reaction.
Am I gonna cry?
You might. You might also laugh.
I laugh so as not to cry.
Exactly.
It does like the body good to see the Victory just like get in there and just start shooting things.
Does the body better than a placebo.
Yep.
I appreciate the little ion cannons on the Victory too. It's not something. It's one of those little touches I probably wouldn't have thought of, but I think
it's something that I've started doing a little bit more in my playthroughs. It's like getting the odd ion here and there because it just whenever it works, it just does so much good.
Yeah, it does work for a little bit.
I think because the frigates have been more aggressive than the Colossuses and the Mules last round, this is going a lot quicker because the frigates are just coming in. There's nothing here specifically very long range. Oh, look, it's a sidecar.
And the mid-tech ships are faster so they don't get outrun and outmaneuvered as easily. Plus, with the monitors working as very effective screening ships, this is being a bit less painful than it was with low-tech.
Yeah. And because like a lot of pirate ships, they don't really have like omni shields. They have front-facing shields. So if the front is facing the monitor, this is the closest ship, then usually the sides are vulnerable to attack by God knows how many things.
Yeah. And a lot of these ships, they don't have the flux capacity and vent rate to offset the ion beams. So even just like the Eagle alone is winning out just by hitting him with the ion beams.
Is it down to one tiger? No, it's one tiger and what looks to be one predator down here. You can just like imagine like the part of the predators going, "Oh God, no!"
I enjoy predators.
Yeah, they were one of the horrible little surprises I had when I did my first mod run in 0.8. Like, what the hell is that? The first predator I met was a Predator X, and like coming in from nowhere, going straight into Predator X is like, oh my God, what is that?
Don't you just love frigates with 4 missile slots and a very fast mobility system?
Yeah, like I couldn't catch up to it. And it was like, what the hell is this thing? Right, this is where we see the magic happen, because already the Onslaught's trying to go for the capture point, so the Onslaught's having a bit of the victory has got a bit of time on itself and hoping to re-engage properly.
Something I'm seeing too, and I think we saw this last week with Mid-Tech, is that they're very fast, like tactically, they can move around ships, but they don't have a lot of speed across the map, so they lose the objectives really quickly.
Actually,
they kind of hug the bottom of the map.
What have we actually got? We've got 2 sensor jammers and a comm relay, so the sensor jammers are making a difference. They are losing weapon range because no one's got ECM officers at the moment, so they are losing 10% weapon range because of the sensor jammers. And it looks like a victory is going after the sensor jammer, which leaves the rest of the fleet unified, but still trying to face off against the oncoming onslaught.
Well, if they stay more densely packed than low-tech was, they'll probably have a better chance, even without the victory present.
Ooh, nice
the Dominator's getting ioned out even through the shield. It's at high enough flux. Kopesh wing dinged it a little bit, but it didn't get enough to really hurt.
Every little helps.
Saved the Albatross, though.
They both got it out in one piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, they keep turning to engage like lesser threats, but I still think should be facing the Onslaught because that's the big damage. Ooh, Onslaught. Colossus there just got wrecked to the face.
Yeah, that Colossus was done.
Yeah. Oop, hang on. I was going to focus on the Dominator, but we have the Onslaught coming to engage now.
Yep.
Now it's facing off against both Eagles, well, 2 Eagles, the Falcon, and quite. Ooh, yep. They managed to flux out a Hammerhead, but it can't really follow up on that. It's pulled back.
It comes down to whether or not they can keep it at high enough flux that the ion suppresses it.
Or that everything else dies until the Victory joins in. I think the Victory has definitely enough damage to poke through that shield.
Oh yeah, the Victory could probably beat the Onslaught one-on-one.
Oh, the Onslaught's burning in again. It's going straight in. Ramming of Sunder. Straight up. Sunder takes so much damage. Oh my God. That's an effective ram.
Are they eating it alive, Nemo?
They're eating it alive. They're melting it. But that was pretty... If you see it happen, it was pretty much eaten alive.
That was a clean kill.
Although it's now exposed its back end, so it might start being...
Yeah, that Sunder needs to turn around and hit it in the engines.
Yep.
It's already flamed out, though, by the ion, it looks like. And Kopesh is flanking it. Oh, this is it, I think, for the Onslaught. It's probably unable to get out of this.
I know, everyone's backed off considerably.
They have backed off, so I...
Ooh, Compeshwings are coming in, I think. Compeshwings are coming in.
If they don't pressure the Onslaught, because they're in a winning position to fight it right now. They're a bit scared.
They're a bit scared. Ooh, double. That's also... Ooh, again... They've left the Onslaught alone. Like the Compeshas, they haven't really pressed on it, which is unfortunate.
And that Eagle is in a bad spot.
It's doing all right, but again, it hasn't.
It is doing all right. You're right, but it's not a place I like to see an Eagle.
Definitely. I think both sides played that encounter very safely. I'm not sure what they were afraid of, but they were definitely afraid of something because they both played that quite safely.
Yeah.
Up here we have the Victory actually. Yeah, their Dominator is taking a beating.
Ooh, check out those monitors are at critical malfunction. They're all about 10%.
Yeah.
That's not good. If they don't finish this wave off before they hit 0, the monitors might be gone.
Ooh, I know Falcon's overloaded because the Onslaught just dove straight back in again. That Falcon's probably not going to survive.
Oh, I don't like watching Falcons die. Why do you got to do this to me?
Ooh, maybe it does get out alive.
Please do, Falcon. Please do.
Monitors are taking damage now, I think.
Yeah, if they're hitting low enough CR that they don't have enemies, they're gonna be.
Yeah, we have 2. Yeah, 1 monitor down. Monitor hit 0 CR. 1 down. I hadn't actually realized that we still have another Dominator still alive, and the first Dominator hasn't died yet. The victory did not finish them off.
Sigh, do those monitors have hardened subsystems or not?
We have hammerheads and sunders at 0 CR. Everything's at 0 CR. All the hammerheads are 0 CR, the sunders are at 0 CR, the monsters are 0 CR, that Falcon's at 8-7, the Heron's at 8.
And it looks like he went with a crowd control fleet, which is great, but it doesn't have the lethality to take on fleets like this.
It's going to be solo victory again. This victory is like still fine at 70. Hasn't started going down yet, but everything else is pretty much at 0 at this point.
Yeah, like Wyvern just said in chat, the victory's spending way too much time defending its point. It's basically leaving its team to hang. It's leaving its team in a bad spot.
Yeah. It's really unfortunate, because the victory is really well kitted out. It was kitted out last week, and again, it's just not putting that firepower where it really matters the most.
Sigh says that nothing has hardened systems in this fleet. I don't think that was a good idea. You made a fleet which relies very heavily on crowd control here, and unfortunately you didn't build the fleet to survive actually using crowd control.
The Onslaught is chasing down an Eagle that's at 11 CR. Yeah, it's pretty much everything that's not the victory is at pretty much 0 CR or as damn close to it as possible.
Well, Cheesy says without peak performance time regen, hardened subsystems is a near requirement. I don't really agree. It depends on the fleet that you built. This fleet doesn't have a lot of lethality to it. It's very, like I keep saying, crowd control-y. They have a lot of ion and some screening ships, but they only have a couple ships that are really good at killing.
The Onslaught's now dealing with the last remaining Eagle, which has just hit 0 CR. Is it going to die before 0 CR? It just hit 0 CR before it died. Wow, they succeeded in the wave? The Onslaught's still alive. The victory managed to kill everything but the Onslaught, I think. So the Onslaught's still alive at pretty much full health, and low CR, to be honest, because it's got safety overrides.
Yep, everything else is back to 70.
Everything else is back. What? Oh my god. Jesus, an Infernus, an Onslaught, a Mongrel, a Dragon, a Renegade?
Oh yeah, this is that wave.
The Amalgam? The Stalker? Oh, this is every unique capital ship, cruiser,
every capital and cruiser from
and
the
a couple
Underworld and ship and weapon pack.
Jesus, this is horrible. And I was like, we pulled off, and it's like, no, you haven't. You got an Amalgam here and side as well. A couple of sides, 3 sides. That's 3 sides.
There's a couple of MMXs too.
And that's a what is that? Venomax, yeah. Or Animax. So what's an Animax? Venomax. Yep, I think we're pretty much left with just the. Will the victory be able to kill? No, it won't. I was like, will it be able to kill them? No. No. That's really optimistic thinking at this point. Because unfortunately, the Mongrel has its own ion beam, which is currently raking the side of the victory with.
And it looks like the victory was beating the Onslaught one-on-one. That's kind of pretty.
Well, the Onslaught's on 13 CR now, so it would have won it regardless.
Handicaps.
Oh god, this is just pain. A dual flamer on that Eagle D. That's just adding insult to injury at this point.
You like your Fleagles, and this is what you get.
Yeah. Well, you beat Wave 3, technically.
No, not technically. He did, in fact, beat Wave 3.
Did I ask for a Starsector Man's Not Hot cover? Sure. Well, that's 3 at least. 3 points to Sigh there. And now we go for the high-tech fleet.
Which you love, I remember.
Oh, God. It's like, because so I actually haven't checked if that's all the numbers. Is that all the numbers?
Everybody get ready. Make some popcorn if you want.
Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Hyperions with safety overrides.
And a Sunder just cuz.
And a Sunder just cuz. But safety overrides, heavy blaster, mining blaster, safety overrides, and hardened subsystems. So they got a 59-second peak performance time. So they want to go for the quick kills, and they've got the graviton beam fleet. So
what is that Sunder though? Look at that.
Let's have a look. I actually clicked out of that too quickly. That Sunder has an auto pulse laser, a mining blaster, safety overrides, hardened subsystems, and nothing else.
Safety override on a
on a Sunder, yeah.
Oh.
Oh god.
What?
I hate this fleet. I hate it with a passion.
What has Wiki done?
I don't know.
He took the slowest, the most CR heavy fleet in the Prime League and added safety override Hyperions.
Now, will the Hyperions run out of CR before the first wave is over? Key question. Exactly 700,000 points, though, so they get massive points for that.
With 27 ships.
With 27 ships. And the Hyperions just went there and sat in the middle. They're so fast, they just got to the points and like, you know what? Screw this.
I don't care what happens. This fleet wins in our hearts.
In yours. I hate it with a passion.
Hey, we can't all get what we want, all right?
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like they're doing the same orders that Low Tech did, where they come in to defend the points between the two middle and the left objectives.
Hyperions need to be really quick about this, because they have no.
Yeah. I don't know if they're going to be capable of it though.
Okay, as a rough guess, will this fleet sea pather?
I feel like this wave is a lot harder for them to fight than the next one. The next one they're going to be a bit more clustered together, so they don't be as you see, the Hyperions are basically soloing the whole fleet, so they're losing a lot of their CR just by waiting for the other ships to catch up. And the Tempests are in, but the Tempests don't have really enough lethality or braveness in general to back them up.
The Tempests just have a Graviton and a Phase Lance. Oh, there you go. The Hyperions are losing CR already.
I think the fleet will probably see the third wave. I don't know if the Hyperions will.
Fair.
I don't think anything in the fleet needs to exist except the Onslaught, though. The Onslaught's probably just going to take everything out.
Because much like the Derelicts, the Onslaught's just going to laugh at the Graviton beams.
Yeah. And there's barely any iron in this fleet except on the Tempests. I mean, personally, I suggested the Arachnes had ion beams and, like...
Arachnes used to have double Annihilator drones, didn't they? I remember, like, in pre, 0.8, their ship system was having double Terminator drones, not Annihilator.
Yeah. Now they have advanced targeting core, though, which means that they can fire a heavy blaster at a hilarious 1200 range.
Christ.
And I don't know why anyone would want to do anything else with it, honestly.
Why don't they have heavy blasters?
Exactly.
Just one heavy blaster would have done. I don't even know where to look at this point.
There's not much to look at. It's basically a slide.
I'm gonna give us the overarching look, because that's maybe the best thing to look at right now. You can just see the pretty green lines drawn across the screen.
Yep, pretty lights and occasional blinks.
Yep. Okay, so I do kind of want to follow the. I just want to see what the Sunder's actually going to do, because the Sunder has no range. No range.
No range. It's the biggest ship in the fleet, though.
It's a destroyer. People managed to pull double capital ship fleets in this point, and it's a destroyer.
Hey, he's got to hit that 85 somehow.
See, I wasn't around for that. Do you want to explain for people who weren't around for that either? I know 85 ships is a meme at some point that went into the Discord, but I missed the beginning of it.
So somehow Wikifish, I don't know if he did it or if it just happened weirdly, where he was using the second round in his tests rather than the first round. So only the supply cost was priced for his fleet. He was working off of only that, and his first draft fleet had 85 ships in it.
Because he was doing with 600,000 points of maintenance cost only.
Probably like 700,000 actually, because it would have been round 2.
Jesus.
Yep.
The Hyperions are already on low malfunctions. They've hit 40.
Yeah, as Kuroi said, it was just 85 Tempests, nothing else.
To be fair, the Tempest is a fantastic ship.
It's 2 ships. Don't even pretend otherwise.
Yeah, to be fair, it's a ship and then a really, really good drone.
The drone has the attack power of an entire frigate.
What is it? What has it got? Because I remember it used to have like pulse laser, but now it's got an ion blaster.
Ion pulsar, yeah.
Yeah. An ion pulsar on a bloody drone. It's not a. It used to be a phase drone. It's not a phase drone anymore, is it?
No, I don't think it has phase.
It used to be a phase drone. It used to be a phase drone with the IR pulse lasers. That's just silly.
Now it has a shield instead.
Which is also quite silly.
It is, but it gets popped by 1 hypervelocity driver shot.
I think we're down to like the last Colossus, maybe?
I don't think we've seen very many things, if anything, die yet, but it's only the first wave.
Yeah. Nothing's died yet, but now the Tempests have hit CR problems. Everything's reset, of course, but the Tempests are not going to go down.
It's a lot of frigate v frigate, though, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Your Arachnites sometimes join in and paint things with like what effectively is a laser target designator.
Yeah.
That's what that graviton beam is right now. It's basically trying to say to other people, shoot this, please, shoot this.
I kind of agree with Wiki's strategy of giving the Arachne only the 2 medium slots, but I would have gone with like Heavy Blaster and the Hardpoint and the Ion Beam and the turret. Just personally. Of course, we're armchair admiraling at that point.
Yeah. Clearly, Wikifish had a specific strategy in mind doing it for this.
Yep.
I just hate him for it.
I love that it exists. I hate that we have to watch it.
Yep. No, yeah, I guess that's probably true. Like, I would probably be loving this a lot more if I wasn't having to sit down here and just watch this fleet slowly chip away while it loses CR.
Yeah, well, the Underdog League has Artifact and Looters of a similar strategy. I don't know if you've seen any of the Underdog League.
I watched your stream of it. Like, those like crazy like missiles everywhere fleets and stuff like that.
Yep. It was about a 40-minute fight in this week.
Jeez. Christ above.
Best yet, they were one of the better performers.
What was the actual? How far did they get in Underdog? How far did they get?
Artifacts and Looters made it to the 4th wave.
In general,
the highest score was in the IFED fleet, which made it to the 5th wave.
I did have a quick look at the fleets beforehand, and it just amused me that IFED still has ammo limits.
Yeah, IFED's fleet. I mean, I guess it worked for them because they were the best scorer out of the Underdog League.
Okay, this is the test. To be fair, a lot more ships got to the Panther fleet than I was expecting.
Well, they've all made it so far.
Yeah. So maybe Wikifish has something after all. God, please no, just die. The best hit that was ever posted in the Discord chat. What? Missed something.
I'll
in
check
chat.
if there's something in yours. The Rook. The Madman has done it. Flux not high enough. It's a giant song.
Oh yeah. Urik's like he does a lot of Sabaton rewrites for my playthroughs.
No, this isn't Sabaton.
Yeah, so he did Man's Not Hot apparently.
Yep. 2 + 2 is 4. -1, that's 3. All events.
Genius. Flux not high. I have to read it afterwards.
Yeah, we'll do a slam poetry session.
To be fair, this is probably going to go for like 4 hours, so maybe not tonight, but I'm up for that. Okay, so A couple of frigates have died, but nothing big has died yet.
Yeah, they're gonna skim off the little things, and the big things are just gonna out CR them. Because everything's gotta have CR safety overrides.
Yep. I guess one thing that's going to happen to the Onslaught here is that all the Terminator drones are going to get behind it and hit it with the Iron Pulsar several times.
Well, that definitely seems to be happening.
That Onslaught is not going to be able to fire many weapons at all. If it fires anything,
but it's only beams firing against it, which means it's just, with safety overrides, immune to beams.
One of those phase lenses to hit the rear engines. That's like the only thing, and it'll still take an age to do, but...
Yeah, the one Mining Blaster Tempest is helping with it, as well as all the Hyperions.
I guess the Thunder's doing things as well?
Somewhere.
Oh, Tempest down. It just sat in front of the Onslaught for a bit too long while its weapons were still up.
Oh, I just saw the Thunder do a nice Tokyo drift.
Yeah, it's like...
I'm telling you, man, everybody deserves to try a Plasma Cannon Sunder.
That said, the Onslaught is taking hull damage now.
Oh, it is finally. They cracked the armor on the back.
Yeah, it has literally no rear armor right now. It's taking a lot of rear damage.
Nice.
Yeah, it looks like we're actually getting through this wave.
They might actually have done it, the Madmen. Flux not high.
I think they're gonna die to like their own CR problems before anything else, but it is definitely making past this fleet, I think.
I'm still looking at this song.
Yuri has a unique talent. This scan as well. I've listened to the originals in the background, and the songs scan properly as well. Great effort. I do enjoy them. You can just feel the pain of the Onslaught right now. It's just like, I should be winning this fight, but they're all so far away, and nothing works on my ship right now.
He's trying to fire Reapers, but they just step to the side. Ooh, is that a Tempest getting CR'd right next to the Onslaught? Yeah, that was. Lost both its engines.
Most Tempests are at about 25% CR right now. The Hyperions are about as well. They're losing CR about the same rate. The Sunder's at 22% CR.
I believe in you, Sunder.
The only thing that hasn't actually started losing CR yet are the Arachnes.
Oh yeah, because the Arachnes don't have a safety override.
Ooh, well, there you go.
Tempests don't really have CR in the first place.
There you go. Wave 4.
They made it to wave 4.
With one Dominator being...
I don't think they're going to be able to finish off all these 5 capitals, though. I don't have much faith in the idea of them taking on that many cap ships.
That is a lot of cap ships.
But this Dominator that they're just swarming over is...
I think that they're ignoring the enemy fleet. They're just like, we're going to kill this Dominator. I don't care what happens. This Dominator is dying.
Friendly reminder, everyone in chat, please keep taking clips.
Yes. It's clip things, everything. If it's cool, you clip it.
Honestly, I'd appreciate just a clip of the beams spanning the Dominator.
Kind of. I might at the end of the tournament, basically just like do just collect all the clips together and make like a compilation video of the clips or something.
I would appreciate that.
That'd be kind of awesome to get some like nice clips. And I'll also credit the clip to the person who made it. So yeah. But yeah, things are sort of dying. The Iraqis are losing CR. The Infernus hasn't joined in yet. I do want to see what the Infernus has got on it. Got Hellfire, Mjolnir, 3 light assaults, 3 hyper velocity drivers, salamanders, an Aegis flat cannon, and of course the built-in. Oh yeah, it's Hellfire, not Hellbore. I read Hellbore for Hellfire. Well, Sigh is down, at least. That Renegade's got 6 Salamander launchers, as well as a Locust. It's too big. I can't focus on things. There's too much going on everywhere.
Yeah, they're spreading out a lot, which isn't a good thing because they're taking away any sort of time to kill bonuses they might have by stacking together.
Well, let's have a look. Arachnes are at 50 CR, give or take. The frigates
the
are.
Arachnes are hitting it too.
Oh, there's a surviving on what looks to be. I can't even see a pixel of hull there. That has
both the Predator X's went down.
That Tempest has no health remaining. It's alive by sheer willpower.
At least it has CR. Kind of.
Are they gonna take a? They're taking down some sides. Are they gonna take a single cap ship down? That Renegade's getting punished.
They've just about cleared all the frigates on the map.
Ooh, that's a Sunder's going down, I think. No, it's an Arachne. It's an Arachne. Tempest down already. Arachne is gonna die. Yep, I think that is a high-intensity laser ion beam amalgam.
Yep, it's an amalgam of lasers.
Hey. The also
one of the Venom X's went down somewhere.
I can't tell. There's too much to look at. The Infernus hasn't even joined in yet. The Infernus is just
it's a giant donut. Can we point this out? There's just a giant donut of ships.
You're not wrong. It is a giant donut of ships.
Let's get Duncan.
Hey. I think the Onslaught is just going around in a circle, just killing everything it comes across.
As one does.
Yeah. I want to find out where the Sunder, where's the Sunder gone? It's over here. The Sunder's trying to duel with an Odyssey. Not an Odyssey. The Dragon. Overloaded though.
I do love me some dragons, but I don't think the Sunder can fight off a dragon.
The Arachne can though. It's fine. It's got two graviton lances.
Oh yeah, easy.
Arachne down. Arachne down.
Yeah, they're taking losses now. This is it, really.
Yeah, I think even if anything else happens, it's going to be a CR death for them. Hey, look, the Infernus actually had to fire weapons.
Yeah, it's been firing weapons a little bit at Hyperions, but it's like watching someone play Shadow of Colossus. It can't maneuver to attack.
Although as the Onslaught goes around and clears things, more caps like join in the fleets. Now it's got like the Amalgam and the Mongrel just beside it. Just like, yep, we're just going around and around. Yeah, we've reached 19% CR on everything right now.
Angry About Elves says, I feel like High-Tech could have done really well if they had brought anything other than Gravitron beams on the Arachnes. Man.
I can't find fault with that statement. Tempest reenacting Dio Brando there. Have they actually done any hull damage to any of the caps? Does not look like it. I'm just gonna hold shift now because I think it's a foregone conclusion at this point. Everything's at 0 CR. The Sunder is... Okay, let's watch the Sunder die, then I'll just shift to the end of it. Yep, goodbye Sunder. Just hold shift until the end now. 2 CR, 1% CR. The Hyperions are dashing around, but they've returned a CR.
How are the Hyperions last ones to die? Come on.
Well, they can't...
I would have thought they'd have hit 0% CR so much earlier than this and just get killed.
I wonder if they were just like so far away from things that the PP just stopped going down.
Maybe, or just their teleporter's that good.
Well, that's 3 points to High-Tech as well.
Yep. Surprising
everyone, to be honest. Or surprising me, at least. Now, Blackrock. Wyvern and his Blackrock. Again, the Kurmaraja, the legend of last week. 3 Stanoses, the Typhus. Now, this week we have new is the Karkinos. Fully decked out, I think. Yep. No, 3 Gale batteries, 4 Shredders, and 6 Bullet Heavy Artilleries. And of course, the damage it does just by landing next to you.
Oh man, they do have a Karkinos. This is maximum hype.
Yep, and also the other 2 ships are literally just a couple of Typhuses that exist just to carry 2 Crate Wings. So we're down to, what, 1, 2, 3...
You gotta have crates. I mean, Cicerin still hasn't nerfed the crates to make them actually balanced, so...
That's 10 crate wings.
Yep.
Make some magic happen. Deploy everything, please. Thank you. What happened last week? They don't deploy the Titan. Because the Typhus have no weapons, that's why.
Yeah, they're... Oh, wait, you gotta full deploy the Typhus. There you go.
I did, yeah.
I'm a few seconds behind.
No worries. At least that means you're close enough behind that it's not too bad.
Yeah. Looks like BlackRock just went for the full middle strategy of ignoring everything but the middle objective.
They've got a Carcinus. They can hold that middle quite a bit.
Yeah, it's probably related to how many ships are in the fleet. Because it's a smaller. This is the smallest fleet we've seen so far, like number of ships wise.
That's brave. That was brave. That Stenos is not enjoying himself right now. That was very brave.
Oof.
Wow.
That wasn't necessary.
That was. It does the MP damage when you land, doesn't it?
It does a whole lot of damage, EMP and everything else, basically. But I think it has a massive reduction to damage for friendlies.
Fair enough, because
similar to Proywin Burst on the Templars.
Fair enough, because that was they were touching. They were literally touching when that happened.
Yep. Hey, bud. A part of me, a really masochistic part of me, misses the old Scaleron Pulse Blasters when the small had 1,000 hit points. So when you fought an enemy fleet that had a lot of those blasters, you were basically killing a destroyer's worth of hit points just to avoid getting missiled to death every time. It was awful, and I commit that I am part of the reason why it got nerfed was because I posted an album of images of one of my fleets just getting slowly killed by an endless swarm of Scaleron Pulse Blasters.
Yeah, it's I think BlackRock was the first cause way back when, the first faction I kind of fell in love with. It's the ships all look awesome, the theming is great. They're really good ships. The BlackRock Flux Core is a great model to have. Ooh! Yep, destroyed a Buffalo Mark II just by teleporting next to it. And fluxed out a mule as well.
You love to see that happen.
Yeah. I remember way back in the day, I think it's still possible, but I used to the Reaper wave, you put when the 4 small slots in front of a Carcinus were all small missiles, you just put 4 Reapers there, fire them all at once, and you just teleport right behind them, and then the bow wave would just send them flying off at a far greater speed. It doesn't work anymore because now they time out and die, but it used to be an amazing way to just troll ships.
Yep. Something interesting is the Carcinus has a lot of kinetic weapons rather than high explosive that you would normally expect a ship to have like that to have.
Double kill. Double teleport kill.
I wonder if he's trying to build the Carcinus more for the remnants and the pirates.
Possibly. That said, bullet heavy artillery is a good gun regardless.
Oh, it's decent. I mean, it's high burst kinetic damage. That's never a wrong choice.
And triple Gale batteries have a nice amount of high explosive there as well.
Yeah.
I guess weak ships like the frigates, the deracinator itself just kills them.
It's just they're very slow projectiles, so and there's a lot of them. Normally you wouldn't see that many of those things on one ship.
Ooh, teleport right at the back of that? Yep.
Everyone in chat is loving the telefrags though.
Telefrags are amazing. The Carcinus is a beautiful ship for that reason.
Yeah, it is.
That might have been the fastest wave one we've had, or maybe tying with low tech.
Yes, Angry. I know it has 3 Gale cannons, but it also has a whole lot of long-range, slow-fired projectiles that do kinetic damage. And I haven't seen a Carcinus loaded out like that before. Oh, and the Carcinus has the Futurama Bender personality.
Does it?
Yep.
I just want to see the Carcinus just teleport into massive... stop firing the weapons, just teleport into the frigates to kill them.
Oh, look at that sidecar got flamed out and shoots some fire beams. It got flamed out while it was sitting still, so it was just a rock.
I do like how full the kill count is.
Yeah.
Kill feed. It's just endless
Almost
death.
half of that is just the Carquinos.
Oh yeah, like the crates are doing work, but the Carquinus is just getting in there. Like, it's being far more aggressive than any of the capital ships we've seen so far, because it can.
Well, yeah, with the ship system like that, what are you gonna expect but aggression?
Yeah. I kind of feel bad just kind of taking away like attention from the Kurmaraja, which was the hero last week. And the Carquinus is like, I'm here now, bitches.
And the Kurmaraja is a great capital, no matter what anyone says.
Well, it took out a bloody wall because it was smart and hit the right point.
Yep.
And it's still very well equipped. It's still fantastically well equipped.
Mm-hmm.
It's got 2 mediums and 2 the large version of the beam, which are fantastic beams. I love those beams.
I just see people a lot of the time complain about the idea of a battle cruiser. You know, it's not big enough. It's not lethal enough. It doesn't have a giant angry ring system. But it's a good ship.
Oh, there we go. Carquinus is like, does not care. Just gonna face the entire path of fleet alone, which might not be the best solution for it, but it's gonna do it anyway.
As it should.
It's taking hull damage now, unfortunately.
Yeah, it lost its armor to some harpoons early on, I think. And now it's getting hit by hammers. The crates can't support it. I think it needs the crates for survivability right now.
Yeah, it was over-eager, and I think the Onslaught's going to punish that. It's got high flux, it can't vent, and... yeah, that might be the end of the Carquinos.
I don't know if it's going to die.
Oh, it teleported behind! It teleported behind the Onslaught. They're just... oh, never mind. It got hit by some kind of bomber fleet.
Oh, the hammers, probably.
No, piranhas. Hit by piranhas.
Oh, piranhas.
Yeah. I think there's a condor there with piranhas. No, not piranhas. Are they piranhas? They are piranhas.
Yeah, those are piranhas, it looks like. Maybe?
It's a shame. That was a huge shame, because they did so well. Just so aggressive, like Carquinos.
Oh, the lot of cat piranhas have heart hammers, that's it. So they were piranhas, but they were firing hammers.
Okay. What are they focusing on? They're focusing on a single, like, enforcer. Stop focusing on the enforcer. Just focus on an onslaught that's right there, guys. Oh no, the Kur Marja is nowhere to be found.
Yeah, and the Carquinos was like half of their kinetic damage across the fleet. The other half was just in the crates.
The Kur Marja may have glitched out.
Oh yeah, it's doing that, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's glitched out. Unfortunately.
That's a shame.
That is a shame.
Angry About Elves says crates clearly aren't overpowered enough.
Did you say you managed to find a way to... not only the Kurmaraja, I think that's... that's Dennis is fighting something. Okay, fair enough. But the Kurmaraja is glitched out, unfortunately.
Yeah, the ships seem to do that a lot this tournament, unfortunately. They, every once in a while, just get kind of caught in a corner. I feel like it might be something with their sensors, but I don't know.
It's always at that angle. They always like sit at about like that angle, facing down slightly to the left. And
not to the left, but like towards the center of the screen, you know?
Yeah.
Like center off screen. It could just be coincidence, but still.
It happened a lot. I think I saw it happen last tournament I did. It happened a lot with Shadow Yard ships. They just like sat there, like a couple of the carriers just sat there. It only happens to carriers as well, which is weird. Yeah, didn't see this coming. Definitely.
I mean, I was worried about them losing losing their ability to fight anything with shields because they have such a beam reliance. And once the Kark went down, all the other ships in the fight are just beam weapons. So this is kind of how I expected it to go.
The Kurmaraja has... also it's going for a ram in the Kurmaraja, I think.
Tsunami asks how I would set up a Kark this tournament. I probably wouldn't, to be honest. As hype and as fun as the ship is, if its teleporter means that it will just start taking damage without any reason to. And I don't like ships like that in this tournament.
It's an endurance tournament. You need to let things stay alive.
Yeah.
If this was like the last tournaments where it's just like one-off matches, yeah, sure, whatever. Jump in, wreck things.
Yeah, a Karkinos is... Oh, there's the Interdictor going off. The Karkinos would be a great ship in a PvP tournament like we normally have. Because it would just rip half the fleet apart before dying. Because it probably would die.
We have one Stenos left over here. And the Kurmaraja, who's currently backed off from the onslaught. Again, they're playing it safe for some reason. The AI just sometimes decides to, you know what, we're going to back away from you. We're going to focus on the Stenos for a bit, because when that dies, I'll just speed things up.
From what I've gathered with the AI, when they hit a certain threshold of flux, they kind of switch to retreat mode, and they will not go out of that retreat mode till they get back to 0% flux. And by the time that happens, they're probably way beyond disengage range.
I want to speed this up because nothing's happening right now. You also change target to the Stenos right now. The Stenos is under assault for the moment.
Are the Luddic path ships starting to lose CR? At least the enforcers?
Yeah.
That might be part of it.
The Onslaught's losing. It's just started losing CR. The enforcers on the Onslaught's on 68.
Solid. Stenos ain't long for this world at all.
Yep, goodbye Stenos, and...
Goodbye Hope.
Yep.
Wyvern says he might consider a rematch after that Kark.
Hmm.
And the Kuramajara also just shutting off.
Yeah.
It's a shame to see when you have two capitals in your fleet, they both do something like that.
Yeah, it is a shame. Except like talk to Tardy about it, and probably won't have time to do it today, but might maybe put a stream up tomorrow or something. We'll come up with something.
Yeah, for rematches.
For rematches. Yeah, 2 points so far, but that was painful. Just to see like, it's like the Kark necessarily didn't do anything bad. It did what it was supposed to do. It was overly aggressive, but it didn't actually break. Whereas the Kurmaraja definitely did.
Yeah. Man, Kurmaraja, could Cicerone have picked a word that's harder to pronounce?
Well, he says he hasn't changed it because no one can pronounce it. That's the reason he hasn't changed it.
Sounds like a Cicerone thing to do.
Yeah. It's much like not updating the crates.
Yep.
Right, this is DME. Now, DME, I've got the least level of quality to comment about because I know very little about the DME. I can't even say what's changed. I think they've lost the Borzois from last week, which
they only had Borzois and
Cormorants. So they've lost the Borzois. The Borzois have been refunded.
It looks like he might have gotten one more Cormoran, but I can't be sure.
Yeah, I can't remember.
And all the destroyers and frigates are new.
Yeah, he's got a couple of carriers here, a couple of Mindanaos, with a huge spread of weaponry. Strike bombers, though, and multi-role fighters and spiral heavy fighter wings. And
DME has very good fighters.
The 3 Tunguskas and 5 Cobra Mark IIIs, which are straight out of Elite Dangerous.
Yeah, it is. It's not even subtle.
It's not even subtle. It's straight out of Elite Dangerous.
What fighters has he got?
He's got Damsel 5 strike bombers, which have Seaways and Perforator rockets, whatever those are.
Does he have Harriers?
He has Mysteres, Spirales, and Dards. He does not have Harriers as far as I can see.
Oh man, I love this. I love the Scout Fighters. The Scout Fighters have little, I think, face skimmers, if I remember correctly.
Mm.
And the Dards I'm also a big fan of because they have shock beams. They kind of perform like Sparks, but without shields.
Now we're just 160 points below cap. I like that. Back cam, there we go. Zoom out. Speed up until we have combat. The DME is also a very mobile thing. All the ships have like some kind of mobility.
Yeah.
System.
One weakness DME has though is that they have very little in the high explosive damage. Like, sure, they have high explosive weapons, but they tend to be a bit more inefficient and rare than the rest.
Yeah, they focus a lot on shock beams and stuff like that, don't they? It's like incidental high explosive damage rather than purposeful high explosive damage.
And generally they rely also for high explosive on missiles, which is a bad bet for this. So they might also be a bit weak to Path.
Path is the gatekeeper.
Yeah, they're the halfway point for the... They're basically the halfway point for the reasonable range of player fleets we can make it.
Are Cormorants cruisers or are they destroyers, you know?
Or what are?
Cormorants.
Cormorants are cruisers. They're the heavy cruiser of the fleet. Even though they perform more so like light cruisers. Though that's a bit of a theme for D&D. Everything acts like it's light. There's no bicalls in this fleet, but I guess I understand why, because the primary weapon is a large missile slot, and D&D doesn't have reload missiles for a large slot.
Yeah, like, unless it reloads, you don't really want a missile in this.
Yeah.
Or something like they said, like the Cyclone, which doesn't reload, but it still takes about 10 minutes to fire every single missile.
Since it's 6 waves instead of a full 10, it's a little bit harder of a pill to swallow to take a limited ammo weapon.
Much pew in this fleet. It's a lot of pew-pew in this fleet. A lot of beam guns going pew 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 pew, firing off hybrid blasters and tactical shock cannons.
That's basically DME in a nutshell, is a little pew-pew noise effect. They really feel it against high armored enemies, though. The pewing stops being a sound effect and more so becomes just a general state of affairs. Captor the PCs is now following.
Thank you very much, Captor. Capture the PCs.
Pisces, you know.
Yeah, thanks for the follow.
That works.
Yeah, the DME is actually starting to stay quite, like, apart from like one carrier who's all the way over there, they're staying quite grouped up, which will be useful. A lot of the fleets that splitting up is a huge weak point, because the AI can definitely like abuse lone ships very
DME
well.
does very well fighting together.
That said, the time to kill seems to be pretty big. Again, like you said, like lack of high explosive, perhaps.
Yep, pretty much. They don't have a whole lot of finisher weapons. Tunguska, they kind of rely on Tunguskas with Hackers to do a lot of high explosive damage, but the Tunguska is a destroyer with a large hardpoint and basically nothing else, which means that unless you have a big fleet to back it up, they're glass cannons.
What does that mean? Is that a built-in, or is that something they can put in?
It's just they have a large ballistic hardpoint. The Hellspear being their like best weapon for it. Oh, okay. It does look like they have a couple.
I was like, I guess because like the artistic design is so nice, but it does feel like the Hellspear is like built in.
Yeah, I like that about D&D though. The weapons just look natural in their slots.
It's like somebody like just general gushing about mods at the moment. Somebody knows about just look fantastic, and like they just look really, really nice and look really, really smooth. There's a lot of effort put into them.
Yeah, and I'll honestly say DME's big selling point is that it's just a pretty faction.
It's got like a nice mix of like when things are firing, the nice like gives you a little beam here, missiles there, pew pew here and there. It's not limited to one thing. Like if a faction has nothing but beams, it gets a little bit dry.
Yep. I love the look of the shock beams firing off on a Husky though. It just looks like a light fighter, but a frigate. Ava is asking if the Tunguska's large mount is a hybrid. It might be. Honestly, it's been a bit since I've played really like a lot with DME. I always have them activated, but I haven't played as the faction with it.
One of the things I realized when I was like when I do my playthroughs with a lot of factions, even I'm not using anywhere near as many factions as we have here at the moment in the tournament. But even with like a third of the factions, it's hard to give everything like good like airtime. Or, like even see everything.
There's a lot of stuff like DME right now, especially, where I used to play with them a lot, where I would like they'd be my faction for a bit, but I haven't touched them lately So it's hard for me to remember some of the details. Hybrid does make sense for the Tunguska, though, given that it's basically a single gun ship.
Go wave 2. Nice clearing there. They haven't really lost much. I think a Cobra took a bit of hull damage here. Yeah, Cobra took a bit of hull damage, but other than that, they haven't really lost anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Cobra got stuck in front of like a destroyer or something and got fluxed out.
I don't know why. I can never figure out how to load out Cobras to be effective. Other people seem to be a lot better at it than I am.
I know what you mean. Like, I've managed to capture a few Cobras in my time. It's like, what do I do with you? You know? Right. So, okay. I guess because like the frigates would be more aggressive, that the DMA can just kill them off quicker than the first wave.
Yeah. Oh, look at that! I love looking at those Comorans just dance around.
That's like just come in, like turn to one side, fire like the right weapons, and just so quickly dip to the left and fire the left weapons as well. Yep. Not really broadside ships, but they have like weapons which have specific arcs, and they do turn left and right just to be able to fire everything.
Yeah, they're not broadsiders, but they're not quite meant to only fire forward either, which really helps with their ship system, and I think it's a much more balanced alternative to something like plasma jets, personally.
Oh, hang on. A Tunguska is dying to a Predator and a Kite.
Oh yeah, it got caught on its own. Tunguskas have no defenses, like I was explaining earlier. They have the one gun, and especially if they use the Hell Spear, which they probably should, they can't defend against anything with the shield, especially.
It looks like it has got some kind of point defense, but it's not really doing much against the shield.
No.
That said, the entire rest of the fleet's going to help it out now, so hopefully
Let's get an Omni Blaster, it looks like.
Have a quick look. He's got Hell Spear, 2 PG Beamers, 1 Hybrid Repeater, and 2 Buzz Guns. That looks like it's a Hybrid Repeater, isn't it?
Yeah, the Hybrid Repeater is the turret that I was looking at. Not Omni Blaster. Omni Blaster's the smalls.
They're down to Kite, 2 Kites, and a Mercury? Or is that a Hermes? I can never tell the difference. It's a Mercury.
I can't either, honestly.
Like, not from range. If I zoom in, like, I know that the Hermes is slightly thinner, but other than that, I can't really tell the difference. Okay, Panther fleets. And they're here with pretty much an entire fleet, although the Tunguskas are having CR problems already. Not problems, but they're lowering CR. And the Cormorants are fine, and as are the carriers. That said, yeah, another Cobra goes into CR problems.
Yeah, so this will be another really fast fleet, which means they might have a similar advantage to high tech, where they can't get outmaneuvered and outnumbered by the Luds. But the lack of HE again is probably going to hurt them. Not as bad as high tech though. I feel like this might end up performing like high tech did, but a little bit better.
Again, like the capitals like seem to have prioritized going for the capture. If you look at the ship positioning like now, or like in a few seconds for you, it looks like the AI has had exactly the same order that the players usually do, where they put a defend order between 2 points, like right over here. I don't know what the AI is prioritizing for that.
I guess they want to lower the range of their enemy.
Which again is making a difference because of the fact that no one's got ECM captains.
No one yet.
No one yet. You don't get to choose your captain skills, do you?
Well, you don't need the skills to put ECM and nav on ships. The Derelicts last week had a lot of ECM on there, especially the Ramparts. And the Diable fleet mine actually has a bunch of nav and ECM hull mods.
Oh, you want that on it? You want to basically augment the range advantage on the Diable as much as possible?
Yeah. Well, I can talk more about my fleet when we actually get to it. I don't want to discuss it all else.
How DME spot?
Yeah, that'd be rude.
Like I say, it's going solidly, but I think the time to kill is a bit too long. I think they're going to suffer some CR problems on this very round.
I still think it's not going to be as bad as the high. As you were correct. There's going to be CR problems. And the Cobras don't have any defenses against those thunders that are running around.
Sure. There you go. 1 Colossus down. Cormorants are now starting to run out of CR. Run out of BBT.
Honestly, I'm mildly afraid of those local Pathfinders because they're just so fast. They can get past any kind of shield that you might have.
The maneuvering system of the Cormorants means they can actually come in, raise flux on something, back out, and something can come in and pick up the slack, which is just so nice.
Yep. DME works very well together because of that speed.
Like one ship comes in and raises its own flux, raising the enemy's flux, and when its flux goes out, and something else comes in and picks up the slack. Which is just... It requires them to outnumber the enemy, at least to be able to engage them at their own time, which I guess with the speed they can do that. Oh no, Cormorant's probably dead. It's just sitting in front of a Onslaught right now. That Onslaught has taken so much blood today so far.
Yeah, the Onslaught's been a real trooper.
Double Reaper on that Cormoran.
Yeah, I don't know why it's sitting there writing its weapons so long. The AI seems to do that a lot in these hardpoint capitals. It was a very distinct thing I was watching when I was testing my own fleet against the derelicts last week. When I actually tested against the spore ship that spawns in the final wave, is that everything seems to meander towards the hard points. I think the AI is kind of coded to try and be in front of enemy ships to fight them, like in an outright fight.
Yeah. Again, the Onslaught's got another Cormoran by itself.
Yeah.
It seems like one Cormoran dies, another one comes here to take its place and just dies as well.
Yeah, maybe we should petition Alex to change that about the AI, see if they don't have to intentionally sit in front of hard points, because it looks to me like that's what they're doing.
I wonder why.
I don't know, it probably has some kind of a use case and a reason for being in the first place, but with certain ships like this, it's really obvious.
Okay, Cormoran just took a lot of damage. Took a few hammers from a piranha there. It looks like. Although right now everything's running low on CR at the moment. The Cobras are on 16. The Tunguskas are on 16 as well. The Cormorans are on about 30. Looks like, yeah, the Panther fleet is today's gatekeeper.
You hate to see that happen. And have they killed any of the Dominators yet? Doesn't look like it.
No, there's still 2 Dominators intact. I think that's what they started with.
You know, hindsight, this Luddic Path fleet looks more or less like it's just the Ned Ludd ITP fleet. Like, barely even changed. Because that fleet, that bounty fleet, does have the 1 Onslaught and the 2 mount. And then everything else.
What have we actually got left here? We got a couple of Cobras there, which one's 5 CR. They're going to die every time.
Yep.
2 Cormorans left, but one of them was on very low health, and the other one full health, but 25% CR.
Tsunami says, if it was possible to have peace negotiations with Freitag redacted, what would they say? I mean, they'd probably just ask if you're Omega a lot.
Yeah, it's like, you're not Omega, go away.
Yeah, go away. Like, we won't fight you, but go away. Like in Doctor Who, those aliens wearing gas masks.
Which ones?
The aliens wearing gas masks in Doctor Who.
Yeah, which one? Which
older. I don't remember which Doctor.
Oh, the older ones. Okay, yeah. I'm not as much.
No, it's not current series.
I'm not as versed in older Doctor Who's.
I'm mildly versed in the older ones. The current series isn't something I watch.
I've not watched the last few years of it, but I watched it when it restarted. I watched it religiously.
I hear good things and bad things in equal parts about the current series.
Yeah, because like the varied writers, it depends on who writes the episode and who directs it, stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's always unfortunate we see in a show when it varies wildly in tone because.
I'm gonna speed this up because we know what's happening right now. It's just taking time to happen. Everything's hit 0 CR at this point, pretty much. Yeah, 0 CR and everything, so we're just waiting for the end to happen.
Yeah, now that the carriers are 0 CR, the fighters won't win, so that's gonna hit away too. But there's still enough fighters, especially the darts. I love darts.
Hang on. Whoa. Have they destroyed a Dominator?
Yeah, they did.
To be fair, if those fighters manage to kill off the remaining Dominator and that Nebula, they'll end the wave.
Yeah, but the fighters can't respawn, so
No, your fleet's in full retreat, so...
The ships are firing the better Salamanders, I don't know what they're called. And the fighters are going in to swarm through them anyway.
Yeah, we're down to a Tunguska and a Cobra. All on 0 CR, so no weapons work pretty much. That said...
Yeah, almost all the fighters are gone. All the fighters are gone now, too.
That said, the only thing with CR now is the Onslaught, and the Onslaught doesn't have enough enemies on the field to even drain PPT right now.
Yeah, the Onslaught is at this with CR, although it won't change.
And last remaining Cobra, who gets the kill? Probably the Onslaught, because no one else has CR. Oh, there's a Tunguska there as well. There's the Nebula. Come on, you can do it! No, no, you can't.
I want them to kill that Dominator. Donk. I love the Cobra just getting bonked by the dead Nebula.
Kind of wanted the Onslaught to hit the Nebula into the Cobra, and that kills the target.
Come on, Cobra, you can do it. You keep the Nebula as cover. Shit. They almost made it to the next wave.
Yeah, it was close. They were one ship away.
Yeah, it's just the Onslaught, you know.
Insult to injury just rams the Cobra once it's dead.
As one does.
Yeah. Okay, that's, again, 2 points to the DME. And now we are up to your fleet.
Yep, my fleet, hoorah.
Now you just, doubled the number of Vapors as far as I can see.
I didn't double, I just added about 3.
Yeah, 3 Vapors with state support beams as far as I can see.
Yeah, they're different variants than the original.
The same gust as before? One more gust?
Yep, one more gust. I added 2 Hails, 4 Fractus, 2 variants of the Fractuses. So you see 4 different types of Wanzers this round.
We have what? We have one versatile, one Valiant Arbitrator, 2 of these with Arbitrator and Valiants, and 2 of them with Stripes and Ravens. Nice, I do like the Raven.
Yep.
And they both
Strife and Raven's a good combo. If the Strife shreds the armor, if the Raven shreds armor, the Strife just lays into the hole.
Strife is the one with a Gatling gun, right?
Yep.
Carrying a Grave HMG, essentially.
And the Thunderbolt pack.
Oh, nice. Right, let's see how you do.
And as I briefly mentioned earlier during the DME fight, I have a bunch of ECM and Nav Relay hull mods across my fleet.
You do, you got 15 points of it. Although the enemy apparently has 12. You are 1,010 points below cap, which is, again, pretty close.
Yeah, with Diable, with this faction, there's basically no way of getting exact, because a lot of weapons and ships have, 999 prices.
Great. For those who haven't seen before, Diable fighters are completely gorgeous.
Yeah.
First of all, the Arbitrators have a booster that detaches once they get close to the target. That is awesome. The Valiants are transformable fighters. They change between fighter mode and robot mode. They're amazing ships. The amount of detail that's gone into Diable as a whole, and any of Tardi's mods as a whole, is fantastic.
And with the advent of this round, I'm using every except Sniper and Frost.
There you go. You can see the Arbitrators came in, they just docked their engines over there, and they just join in. What do the Arbitrators have, actually, weapons-wise?
They have an Ibis and a little Ibis point defense gun, and revolver assault guns.
Okay, so there's high explosive damage there.
Yeah, but very low high explosive damage. It's very rapid, very low damage.
Gus, of course, carrying stolen TPCs. These are the new Hails, I think, with Grave HMGs and a Glow Tusk, so nice balance of kinetic.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get this right. Which is high explosive, which is kinetic anymore? They changed it around.
The Glow Tusk is the high explosive. It fires a 500 damage shot.
Yeah, they changed it around because it used to be the other way around. It used to be that the Glow Tusk was kinetic and the Grave was high explosive. And all the missiles as well. A couple of Blazaya
wenches. A lot of
missiles
in this fleet.
I love missile spam.
See, it's central to Diable's general fleet strategy is to make the fight as chaotic and dominating as possible. And I tried to lean into that as much as possible. So I have Jerichos to stop their flares and missiles. My own flares and missiles are going everywhere. Well, the Jerichos are more so the flares.
It's the Birdshell Beam Repeater, what I think is probably one of the best PDs in the game.
Oh, easily, but it's so expensive. I actually tested out having a second Maelstrom in this fleet with a completely different loadout. It was a lot more, it had a lot more shells and actually used Brave HMGs rather than Rexons. It was good, and it worked better than the current one for just straight up killing ships, but I couldn't afford any launchers on it. And it was like 300k.
Are we getting a Pandemonium next week?
No, unfortunately, the Pandemonium is more than 300,000 just for the hull. With weapons and everything, I wouldn't have been able to afford something. So unfortunately, I can't get the Panda.
No pandas today.
Yeah. Oh well, I have basically every other ship possible. I'll try again and figure out a way to put columns into my fleet next round.
You've properly surrounded the pirates here. Like, they are properly surrounded, falling back on all fronts. You group them up together nicely. It's like this is the best AI execution of a strategy that we've seen so far.
Yeah, my fleet, when they get a foothold and kind of put pressure on the enemy fleet, they don't let go of it.
Again, because Diable is also a very mobile fleet.
Yeah, and that's why I have so many Vapors. Because they have that evasive maneuvers, it makes them almost impossible to really kill. Sure, you can kind of hit them every once in a while, but they dodge too well. And they get around the fight so quickly.
And there's also those lovely S-Rabs as well, which I do like.
Yeah, the S-Rabs, especially on the Vapor, because on the Vapors, they can shoot past allied ships. So if they cluster up or otherwise kind of dance between allied ships, they can fire across them.
Thanks, Pieman, for the follow.
Oh, did I miss that?
Yeah. Oh, it just happened right now.
Oh no, it's right now, yeah.
Again, like, it tends to be that the first two waves are like opposites. If they can deal with the first wave quickly, they tend to be slower with the second wave. If the first wave is slower, the second wave gets killed quite quickly. I think it's because like
with especially the new Vapors I put in with the slate support beams are a lot better at actually fighting other frigates.
I said your kill feed's pretty full, so I'm not going to use it.
I'm proud of that kill feed.
What is the Haze got ammo feeder as its system?
It's not quite ammo feeder. It's kind of like a lighter version of it. I can't quite think of all the effects it has. I don't really use it to build around having it though, so I've never paid much attention. Because you can look at the build. The Haze is built more so for long range support fire than actually brawling.
I've actually been like looking at the Ravens and stuff. The Raven is glorious.
The Raven is great, and there's a strife nearby at every time. Plus the little Valiants.
I do love the Ravens. I love all the fighters for DA.
Yeah. Something actually that I realized in testing with the operators, they're not Wanzers. So you put them on a Diable carrier that has Wanzers as well, and it'll keep them from losing that less than 1/3 of their fighters alive debuff. Because Wanzers take forever to replace.
Yeah. Oh, it's the trade-off for these big, fantastic fighters.
Yep.
If you missed the transformation, hang on, let's see if we can get the transformation on camera because it's happened. Look at that. It's so awesome.
Every time there's that Diable's on stream or in one of your videos, you have to zoom in and stare at the Valiants.
The Valiants and the Versants if you have the frigate as well.
Oh yeah, the Versants. I almost put a couple Versants in, but they're a bit too fragile for me.
Yeah.
I love them in campaign, especially if I'm driving it.
It's like if you have a Versant in your fleet, you have to be piloting it. Cause it's kind of like if you have like a really nice car, then you hire a chauffeur to drive it. It's like, why? It's a nice car. You drive it.
Exactly.
When I would go out to get like a really nice Jaguar or something, then hire someone else to drive it. Like, no, that's the point. States, of course, are really good beams. They're just stupidly good beams.
It's 200 flux per second for exactly 200 DPS per second.
Which is like well, that's the same like efficiency as a tactical laser. It's just more of it.
Yeah, and I have 2 of them on each Vapor, which means that's 400 for 400. And they have evasive maneuvers, which means if they're ever at high flux, they can just zoop away. And you have to make the sound effect zoop.
Zoop. Oh, it's a haze going to get caught a bit off guard. Did you have a hail last week? I can't remember.
No, I didn't have any hails. I can never really figure out how to make it work with unless you already have a big fleet. The hails I have now, I'm pretty satisfied because they have enough support, but otherwise they get surrounded. It also has extended shields because I don't like how narrow its shield normally is. And yeah, that haze is getting just bullied by those thunders, as I kind of expected would happen. Those things are way too fast and hard to kill.
What's the haze got for point defense? Is Ibises, 4 Ibises?
Ibis on the most of the turrets, but it does have 1 bird shell on the rear-facing turret.
Just for taking out like salamanders and stuff, and like sneaky fighters are getting behind you.
I had the OP and I figured I'd give it something that has some armor pen.
You know, we got to the Panther fleet. We haven't really been talking about the fleet, but not really what it's been doing. It's got to the Panther fleet relatively uneventfully. Like it's done a solid job of just getting there.
Yeah, there wasn't really much to say.
I think the Maelstrom's got. I think the Maelstrom's glitched out though. I think your
I don't know
Maelstrom.
if it's glitched out or if it's just
Zero flux and it's just staying there. It's glitched out. I would err on the side of saying it's glitched out. That's it. It's turned on its shield and maybe it's turning. But see, it's always the angle. It's always looking vaguely to the bottom left and not doing anything. Although the onslaught's now taking fire from Jericho, a gust, and your haze.
Yeah, the haze is custom built to kill capital, so I'm glad that the haze and the onslaught are.
Really?
There's a reason I named it the Ishmael class. It takes out all the white whales.
That said, if it gets fluxed out in front of an onslaught.
Yeah, its flux isn't very good. This isn't the kind of capital that it's probably best at fighting. But it's got the it saved the day with the magic box missile.
Alright, so let's keep focusing. There's nothing else happening over there? Let's say we have a Dominator getting hit by a haze and a collection of Wanzers.
Not a haze, a hail. I only
Sorry,
have
hail.
haze.
Yeah. You have a hail there wailing on the Dominator with a collection of Wanzers. The other Dominators being your Maelstroms come back into fun now.
Yeah, come back into the fun, not the fight.
Yeah.
This isn't a fight for the Diable fleet, keep in mind. I haven't taken any losses yet.
That's hubris right there. That is.
It is.
Although you're doing quite well. The Dominator is like I said. Like, for some reason, sometimes the AI just derps out. Sometimes it just does exactly what you want it to. And in your case, the AI is doing exactly what you want it to.
Yep. And the haze is right behind the onslaught, which is bad for the onslaught. Oh, it looks like the Vapors are doing a really good job of bullying the Condors and random tertiary ships in the fleet.
It's a hail. That's a hail behind the onslaught.
Yeah, the hail's behind the onslaught now, but the haze was behind it earlier.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna say yeah, they're both there, but I keep looking at. I get them confused sometimes if I don't have them to compare sizes because they look very similar.
Yeah, there's a lot of ships like that in Diable. They have very similar profile themes.
Well, I think it's like essentially the Vapor, the Haze, and the Hail are the same basic ship shape, just different sizes of it. I think we're just down to pretty much the Onslaught now, which has been punished for the longest time, but it's because it's an Onslaught, it just survives that well.
Yep. And it did a lot of damage to the Gust, which is commendable. But especially with the Dericho near it, as long as the Dericho system is up, it can't fire its Reapers at anything. I'm really satisfied with the Dericho investment. I was worried about them being not as useful later on, but they've been pulling away.
They weren't necessarily were they as useful last week? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, they when they had their ship system going off at full range, they turned off locusts like perfectly. Squalls were a bit harder to neutralize because they're just so much faster. But the locusts could not get through the Jerichos.
Right, so wave 4, the capital fleet now.
Yep.
See how you managed to pull it off here.
Well, it depends on whether or not the Maelstrom joins the fight.
Oh god, no, you've got carriers escorting carriers right now.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, you got carriers escorting. I think the Maelstrom is trying to come back in, but a couple of the Fractuses are stuck escorting each other there. Or he's escorting the Maelstrom.
From what I've seen in my testing anyway, the Fractus with the Arbitrators tends to break port loop.
Oh, you killed a Mongrel, that's not the solution so far.
Yeah, the combination of long-range Rexons and Thrushes on the Haze means it just snipes things even no matter what's happening.
At this point, definitely the advanced avionics has hit full capacity at this point, so...
Wow, absolutely. And yeah, it looks like the Maelstrom has joined the fight, it's just not in the part of the fight.
Side down, Predator X down, side down again. Only reason I love the Maelstrom is just like, I love missile spam, like nicely like animated missile spam, like the micro missile swarm is. Just looks gorgeous.
And you get the added layer of the Thrushes that spread out into micro missiles if they miss their target or go beyond range.
Because like the micro missiles are relatively useless, but you want them to distract PD so everything else gets through.
Yeah. An individual micro missile launcher is less than useful. But when you have this many of them on the field, everything on the enemy side doesn't want to drop their shields. They're constantly at a medium flux level. And it's still just a little bit of damage over here and there.
Now that hail is 1v1ing a Renegade, which is bold. That said, the Renegade is equipped with missiles mainly, so it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Got a Gauss cannon, but other than that, it's pretty much missiles.
I'm worried about that gust.
Oh, you lost one Jericho.
Yeah, they tend to be the first ones to go. At least start to go.
Your CR looking still above 50 most of the time. So, I said one Vapor just took a beating somewhere.
Nah, I got 7 more.
That I couldn't tell if that was which kind that was. I think it was a Water Dancer.
Yeah. 5 of them have the Water Dancer ones with the SRABs all have nav relay, and the beam ones all have ECM. Which is probably part of why this pirate capital fleet can't quite pull off anything decisive, because they have lower range.
You've been kind of paying attention on the video. Are any YouTube comments coming through?
Yeah, they're coming through on the video.
Okay.
There's not many though.
Fair enough. I wasn't sure if this is all coming through or just because there's not many of them. Scythe down. The Amalgam's taking a bit of punishment. No, hang on. That's the Barbarian. Okay, that's the Amalgam. Image right. Oh, she'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. Oh, she'll be running around the mountain when she comes. I'll kill you, meatbag.
That's the Bender personality, I believe. It's weirdly common. I think there's the seed the generation for the personalities might be based on a seed. So every fleet has like the same set of personalities.
That Barbarian's getting hammered by ibises at this point, which is just amusing.
Yep.
Again,
once
because
the armor goes down, the ibis is great DPS.
Also because we've got highly advanced avionics is like full capacity, and the range is pretty decent.
Well, it doesn't improve range. It lowers recoil and turning rate and stuff.
Ooh,
the range increase got changed somewhat recently.
See, that's why you're here.
Yeah, like going into 0.8 more or less, they changed it because it had a lot of problem and issues with range editing hull mods.
Yeah. Again, you've done a very good job of just surrounding everything.
Yeah, and those 2 Hails have been fighting the Renegade, I think it is, the Triangle Capital. They just keep dancing around it. They pulled it completely away from the fight, actually.
Or Raven, there you go, Raven and a Strife. Although that Strife's about to go down. It's a straight up Gauss Cannon shot. The Amalgam's gone down. Ooh, Dominator there is overloaded, so... Mostro Cannon, there you go. I mean, do some damage.
Mostro Cannon's good. It's not great, but it's pretty good.
Your Hail and Fractuses are lower in CR now, unfortunately. Your second Jericho is down. Dominator D is down.
Yeah, there's just so many capital in this fleet.
It's an HP slog at this point. There's so much hull points to get to.
Now the Maelstrom's in the fight though, at least, so, and it's the main fight, not just kind of sitting on the sideline.
Okay, 4 down. That Stalker's taking punishment as well.
Yeah, it's amusing that the Maelstrom is so aggressive in using the Ibis at its. It has a steady personality, I believe.
Sometimes personalities just mean nothing. Like, you can give a timid personality to the Lance, the Toreador Lance, it'll still ram drive.
To be fair, ram drive just kind of does that regardless.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like the Haze in the top right corner is thinking about fighting a capital, but it hasn't quite decided what it wants.
Also, you're down to what? There's an Onslaught there, there's the Renegade, there's the Dragon, and there is the... Oh, that Derecho's taking a lot of damage from the... Yeah, that Derecho's going to go down real soon.
Probably.
That said, the Griffin D's very low hull.
Mm-hmm. And it's running out of missiles again. It used up all of its ion torpedoes on the Maelstrom completely ineffectually.
Gotta speed up, otherwise you're gonna run into CR problems.
The Vapors are starting to malfunction.
Yep.
Finally. They have hardened subs, so they don't like to actually lose CR. And the Gust was, there was a Gust fighting an Onslaught and almost took a lot of damage from missiles, but the Jericho saved it from that. Looks like the Haze is finishing off that capital.
Yep. Maelstrom's is now losing CR.
You can kind of see how the Haze is built to fight capitals. It sits out of range for a lot of them.
Yeah.
With the combined
Pumps into Rexons. Yeah. Alright, so what's left? Onslaught, Dragon, and the Infernus. I'll be honest with you, I'm not thinking it's going to happen just on CR points.
Hard to say, because the Maelstrom and
Your Gust just got rammed by an Onslaught as well.
Oops.
Properly rammed.
That's not good for the Gust.
No, it was not good for the Gust. We shall see.
And it overloaded the Onslaught, though, that's fine.
Now the Maelstrom is dueling out with the Infernus now. And hopefully it'll get some backup, because the Infernus is a very hardy ship.
Yeah, but the Infernus was already at high flux even before the fight started.
Those Rexons
Coming down 2 can perform well. Oh no, the Maelstrom vented, late in combat. So advantage Maelstrom right now, I'd say.
Especially since the Gust and the Hails have come in.
Yep, backup has arrived.
Derecho is going to die, I think, to the Dragon.
Yep.
Although, there you go. The Hellfire cannon has actually is offline because of the MP damage. You know, the Infernus is taking a lot of damage from that CPC.
Well, I don't think it'd be ion damage, just straight up damage, because I basically have no ions this way.
There's a section of that Infernus that just has no armor. Yeah, that section to the starboard side just has no armor. So if TPC's hit there, it does a lot of damage. Maelstrom's going to pull back slightly because it's aware that it was going to get outflanked by the Dragon. To be fair, the moment... Oh, that Gust is so close to dead. There you go.
Yeah. The Haze is still around, though.
Haze is still around. The carriers still have CR, so...
If the Haze and Maelstrom both go at a capital at the same time, they could probably kill it in less than 60 seconds. Like, I mean, they could kill it today.
Well, they're making a good go of it now. I don't think that Infernus is going to survive.
No, the Infernus is
Especially because it's got you get a Raven. So 2 Ravens and 2 Stripes there, essentially. Yeah, Infernus goes down. Thankfully, fighters are immune to ship explosion damage.
Yep.
Because otherwise, all the fighters would die.
Which I can't really afford right now with this fleet. The practices are in a bad spot for recovery.
And the Onslaught may have just given you the game because it's just basically it left the range, letting everything else focus on the dragon. That is huge.
This is why you give the Maelstrom Graves instead of Rexons. I don't know, an Ibis range, which is even closer. So...
Oh, wave 5. Wave... Oh god, no, it's not what we got.
Oh, wave 5 is a beautiful wave.
Jesus, that's the Odin. Yeah, it's not in sensor range, I can't lock onto it yet. The Onslaught's still alive, and actually the Maelstrom, your fleet just said screw the Onslaught, the Hails are going after it, let's go for the new Rave. We have here as a Lance D, a Thresher, a Dictator D, an Elysium D, a lot of D. Okay, so wave 5 is D ships from other factions.
Yeah, it's like random kind of, I guess you could say faction pirates.
Yeah, and a couple of the IBBs as well. There's the Maleficent over there.
The Odin, which I love the Odin.
The Odin, which is just like a ballistic Mimir, essentially.
It's a ballistic Mimir with a kind of nerfed version of the AAF system.
That Hail is on less than a pixel of health right now.
Yep. The Hails, I'll be honest, I didn't add them for being efficient. I'm cool with my fleet. They just have a nice brawling profile, which I lacked.
To be fair, this Hail's currently behind the Onslaught, so it's only being attacked by a couple of flat cannons.
True.
It can just stay there and do damage. You just lost the Fractus, unfortunately. I can't tell which it was.
Looks like it was a heavy Fractus.
You got 1 heavy Fractus back, and you lost 1 of each Fractus, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that Fractus is fine.
Yeah, to set the Fractus down. You're down to the Haze, 2 Hails, a Vapor, and the Maelstrom, I think. And no, there's another Vapor over there, and no, those are just wrecked hulls.
I feel like CR has come into this round, this whole tournament round, way more than it probably should have, in hindsight. I don't know. Like, Low Tech lost the CR duel to Bloodic Path. What's up with that?
I think it's because like the first 2 rounds take a little, maybe a smidgen too long.
Possibly.
Which means by the time you get to Ludic Path, they've got really powerful override ships, and everything else is already like all the frigates and destroyers and some cruisers are low in CR at that point. So there goes the Haze. I might just speed through the end here, see what happens. There goes 1 Hail. The Maelstrom is now trying to engage the Odin and the Clade and the Thresher and everything.
Odin is an honorable death.
Odin's backed off. Odin cares not for this. I think it died pretty much to an Atropos swarm, for a raid swarm from the Godaclys P. So you got left is a couple of Vapors and the Hail up there, which just died, and then you have a Vapor down here.
Vapors don't die.
Ooh, hello.
They're like Spartans, they just go missing in action.
Something's left. Oh, a single Vapor's left over here.
Yep, it's missing in action.
You can't kill a Vapor, it's just...
I mean, honestly.
It's too nimble. Never mind. A Decurion catches up to it. Wave 5 vanquished.
Yep, that's 4 points for Diable, which makes it the current leader.
And How far are we along? I forget how far. What number? The use is this 6 or 7?
We have finished 6 of the fleets.
Well, it's 2 hours, so we got 2 hours to go.
Awesome.
Now this is the helmets Imperials with. He decided to added.
That's a bit of a.
Yeah, he just added in 6 Dictator Ds, skimping on the.
You're allowed Ds?
Apparently, you're allowed Ds. Railguns, Vulcan cannons, light assault guns, arbalists, ballista LRMs, and light ballistas. So they're basically, I think they're just here to death ball ballistas. I think. Mainly.
Hey man, I respect the strategy.
Yeah, and a couple of Princeps with Inferno bomber wings, looks like, and more ballistas because ballistas.
Yep.
All right, let's go.
All these ships and not a single Kaiser. Hail.
Ooh, and this is almost 10,000 below. Surely you can get a Kaiser for 10,000.
Certainly. Just to print off a picture of one and put it on the.
Looks like chat does not like the inclusion of Ds.
Possibly. I'm not managing it. I don't know the rules, so I can't really comment. Well, these are the new ballistas, right? They have the speed up effect and get close to their target.
So they're not quite as death bally. They death ball for a while, and then they lock on. So the D-bot dictators are quite happy to get in and just. They've got loads of little guns, but they're not shy about using them. And of course, the Jupiter's just going, no, go away. Oh god, it's so loud in my ears. Move away slightly so I can save my ears for a bit.
So according to Sigh, Tart would have told Helmet to change his fleet and not use D-mods, but Tart was too busy with everything. There wasn't enough time.
Uh-oh. Cheater fleet. Cheater fleet. I think Helmet hasn't actually turned up in chat as well, so he knows.
Helmet is hiding.
Again, a lack of time to kill. A lot of ships hanging back and just LRMing things to death. So I'm
just saying, bit shame.
Apparently Karoy updated Helmet's fleet.
And Karoy's pretending to not know that D-mod banned, even though he was one of the people who, said, oh yeah, D-mod should not exist in tournament.
The drama.
I'm gonna call you out, Karoy.
I didn't add the D. That's a Princeps on low health already. That Princeps is on very low health. It's gonna. Oh no.
So what you're saying is you're compliant, Karoy.
I added more D, but it started.
Happened, and you let it happen. Driving the getaway vehicle is just as bad as robbing the store yourself. You know that?
You didn't start the D war.
Man, oh man.
People already D'ing when I started playing.
I thought this community had standards.
It can't possibly have standards. You're a part of it. Oh, bird.
Hey man. I work really hard to not do anything.
Again, a lot of hanging back, a lot of ballistaing around. And I'm holding shift again, because otherwise we're going to not end today. And nothing's really... This is slowly pushing back. That said, they're taking more damage than I would have thought. You got a Dominator's already taken 25% damage there. That Princeps is almost dead.
I think the Interstellar Imperium fleet should have had more smaller ships. Going only cruiser doesn't help if you don't have any maneuverability and you're getting outnumbered.
Yeah, Dictator is slow. I didn't check what D-mods they had as well, actually.
I don't think you can choose demods for the ships with the built-ins.
Oh, can you not? Okay. So just like, so they all have random demods then?
I don't know if it's random. I would assume it'd be like a vanilla. So like they have some kind of a standard.
Hmm. And then
I mean,
I think
it's Interstellar Imperium, so you know the ones that would hurt them most is degraded armor and
I think
sensors.
they have that.
Yeah, less armor and weapon range is pretty much crippling.
Again, like, they take a long time in Wave 1, but in Wave 2 the frigates come to them, so they just get wrecked.
Yeah.
Well, this is one of the old-fashioned, really good dictators. They actually have like 6 sledge guns, a couple of telems, and nice Vulcans. Rather than these cheaty dictators.
Shameful.
They're all the same one. They're pre-selected. Okay. Does anyone want to just quickly check if they have? Anyone in chat want to check it? Because I think they've got degraded armor, or damaged armor, whatever it's called.
I don't remember.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking in chat.
I'm the kind of person who restores very not rare ships because I hate having demods in my fleet.
See, I do that, but whenever I do that, I get yelled at.
Well, you shouldn't.
Oh, yeah, this is like you haven't got like 500 people watching your videos going, no, don't do this. I get like 5 comments and they're like telling me to do different things, and a lot of them are mutually exclusive. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, they're mutually exclusive, and people who yell at you for stuff like that, they don't understand what opportunity costs are. Like, you could get a cheaper ship, but this is the ship you want. You know?
People got really upset when I spent like 700,000 restoring a halberd when I could have just bought one for 300,000.
Well,
it was
it
like,
was in the shop, like right there, maybe.
To be fair, I think I rage restored it. I was so angry at the time. I just like, I'm fixing you because god damn it.
Of course, if you wanted to not get yelled at all, you could have not lost that bird.
Yeah. Yep, rip Princeps. They're splitting up now. They're not this thing as united as they wanted to. All the dictators have gone up ahead and left pretty much just the Princeps and the Jupiters back here.
Cheesy says the dictators have destroyed weapon mounts and compromised armor.
Yeah, compromised armor is not what you want on an II fleet.
Yeah, but you know what else? You know what else you don't want in an II fleet? Shameful cheating. Shame and dishonor upon your family.
You bring dishonor to the Roman Empire. This is just harsh. You said like what? 7 dominant dictators just chasing a couple of frigates with ballistas? Like, this is harsh.
This is what happens when you buy 7 cruisers.
Corollas Rex for president. Yeah. My Paragon was a legend. I wonder if we'll see a... I was gonna say, I wonder if we'll see a Paragon next week for high tech, but no, it's Wikifish. It's gonna be more Arachnes and more Tempests.
Paragon's gonna come out to like 450k to fully outfit anyway. I don't think we would ever have seen one in the first place.
Speed up. Not much left here. Frigates. What we really want to see is the Panther fleet. I'm gonna get to the point where I just like speed through the first 2 waves unless nothing interesting happens, because the first interesting bit is Panther fleet.
Yeah, I feel like the first 2 waves just there's too much in them.
Yeah, you can't really focus.
Yeah, not much interesting happens just by the fact that it's so many frigates and stuff. It's not themed or anything, so it's just hard to focus on what's in it.
Paragon D, yeah. The thing is, if the Jupiters manage to keep the ships away with the gravity beams, because what they gain with safety override, they lose because of the range. So technically, I suppose the gravity beams can do a good job of pushing them away.
Yeah, maybe if they actually keep firing on one target rather than getting off the attack fighters, as they like to do.
That fighter's too close to me. It's a Talon! No, shoot it with your gravity beam.
Oh shucks, a thunder's coming. I better switch to my armor plating.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Jupiter's in a bad
Oh!
spot.
That was painful.
You hate to see that happen.
Just remember, cheaters never win.
Winners don't do drugs or demods.
Winners don't do demods. I want that on a shirt now. It's only going to be relevant to us, but I want it on a shirt regardless.
Yup.
See, the gravity ray can keep the onslaught away if it focus fire on it, but that's the big if.
Jupiters normally have shields, or they shield bypass on us.
I do not know. That was a good question.
Because these ones don't have shields, and I don't know. Against this fleet in particular, not having shields in Jupiter seems like a real big problem.
I need to be in the ship. I need to be in the ship, don't I? Never mind.
What are you trying to do?
Like to do the mouse over thing. But I
No,
can't.
you don't have to be in the ship. Just tab, select it, and then mouse over it and bottom.
Yeah, they do usually have shields, but this one has shield bypass.
Ah, interesting. I guess to make the beam fire more continuously.
And you know,
But I
make
don't know if
it.
that's worth it in this fight. Hindsight's 20/20, I suppose.
Yeah. That's both Jupiters down. Like, I think Panther. That's it. They've got a lot of dictators still up, but I don't think the dictators have the firepower to take down the onslaught.
Am I seriously the only faction so far that's legitimately beaten the Panther fleet? Not by like leaving the onslaught alive and just dying to the next wave immediately.
Yes, I think so. I actually haven't been writing the scores down, so.
I've been writing it. Don't worry.
Okay. Ooh,
I really would have thought like BlackRock.
like BlackRock might have done it if they hadn't like glitched out.
Yeah, probably. They almost certainly deserve a rematch at some point.
One of the things I always find this with dictators because I've used them occasionally. I think they're very very slow, but I don't think they can bring a lot of firepower to bear. They needed more bigger slots. They've got a lot of small slots, but they needed a little bit more bigger slots to bring.
Said like someone who's never played Interstellar Imperium. Dictators are great, but you don't treat them as anything but a bunch of small slots.
Fair enough. I have never mained Interstellar Imperium. Like I picked them up occasionally, which means like I guess they didn't fit into the niche I wanted them to fit into.
No, yeah, II is it's a very all or nothing faction. Most of their ships don't work very well in support of other faction ships. They kind of have to be with themselves. A true Interstellar Imperium fleet, though, especially with some good min-maxing by way of the players' outfitting, is a real sight to behold.
They do like a lot of their weapons, like Solus cannons, Lux repeaters, telemotor cannons, sledge guns. I like the weapons. I need to like watch someone play a nice like II fleet for a bit, just learn how to think as II does.
Maybe I'll have to do another II playthrough.
Yeah. That onslaught is just playing with that dictator right now.
Yeah, and the dictator's just sitting there intentionally in front of the hardpoints. I'm telling you, it has to be something that AI does intentionally because it looks way too intentional. It's turning to face the hardpoints even.
Yeah. The CR problems are definitely hitting the dictator Ds are in single digits now. Some of them are already at 0 CR. Everything's on low CR right now, so I think they, like, maybe if they had more CR, they could have pulled through this. But I think on CR alone, it's not happening. Let's focus on this fight here.
Yeah, I'm not enjoying how CR dependent these fights are becoming.
He also just waits until the bird drive is up, then just comes in and kills it. That's the Onslaught's thing. It just like waits until bird drive is up, then just drives straight in and knows there's nothing to do about it.
Well, yeah, because otherwise it builds up too much flux on approach. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the range to really brawl things. It has to go in for the kill.
Yeah, because it's got like a lot of heavy autocannons, then a couple of heavy mortars as well.
The Reapers are just terrifying.
Mm. Especially
Turret
combined.
Typhoons in the AI hands can be really brutal.
Especially combined with Sabopods, which just run out of missiles for, but still painful. Yeah, I think everything is hit 0 CR now, so I'll just speed through the rest of it.
Rip Rooney.
Ripperoonies. Ripples and pieces. It's one of the things that I learned very early on. One thing the AI can always do well is like know when to fire missiles into fluxed out targets. It'll always do it. To the point that it gets really scary. We have things like with a large amount of harpoons, because the second you flux out, you just see this wave of harpoons heading towards you.
Oh yeah. When I fly very glass cannony builds, I am sweating every time I overload. It's not just, oh, this one ship is gonna give me trouble. No, it's the whole fleet.
They all lock onto you at once and just fire every missile they've got. That said... Oh, everything's at 0 CR. Every single thing on the map. Oh, for God's sake, it's holding shift now.
Is the Onslaught at 0?
Yep.
Oh,
Everything's
shit.
at 0. It's
That's
literally
amazing.
who dies first.
Okay, can I complain about the CR now officially rather than just mentioning my head?
Oh no, please! I've been complaining for ages.
Yeah, because
It's not fun to cast, and it just degrades into this. Now you literally have a fleet where nothing can do anything.
Yep.
You also can't get enough engines up to move properly because they all flame out intermittently.
That one Dictator D is occasionally.
You know what? I'm calling it here. I don't care. I'm calling it right now.
Yeah, it's just gonna sit there.
It's gonna sit there forever.
Too long.
Yep. AI hits, and basically dies a slow CR death to the path away.
2 points for Interstellar Imperium.
Now we have ORA. ORA. We have
Aura.
Aura. I can't really. I think we have a couple of new Beatitude classes. Actually, 3 new Beatitudes, I think, and an extra Harmony. As far as, and maybe an extra Sanctuary. I can't tell where it ended last week. I know we had 1 Beatitude last time, so I'm assuming this first Beatitude was here last time. I think we have maybe 1 additional Sanctuary and 1 additional Harmony and 3 additional Beatitudes, I think is what we've got here. If CCUSA is in chat, he can let us know, but I think
I can't honestly tell either because they're just purple penis.
They are. I love them, but they are visually indistinct from each other in this small size.
It's a very pretty faction, though. It's probably the best looking faction out of all of them in the tournament range. And that's a close fight, honestly. With like DME being flashy, Shadow Yards being nice.
All the factions look really nice.
I'm quite biased towards Diable, obviously, but you gotta like the missile spam.
I love missile spam. I love every kind of spam, but I think missile and beam spam is up there. But
you can't like beam spam. Come on.
I think if beam spam is done well, I think I like it. If there's like loads of different beams like that look pretty, I like it.
I suppose, yeah, and that's kind of what Aura is doing in this too. They have a lot of beams and energy weapons of varying colors.
Like the underdog league that happened last week is like there's beam spam and then there's having 22 tactical lasers on a ship.
That's a specific number. I wonder if you're referencing.
Yeah. You added the Sanctuary, Harmony, and Beatitudes. Yes, it's 1 extra Sanctuary, 1 extra Harmony, and 3 extra Beatitudes.
Beatitudes have beatitude.
They need to bring the A attitude though. We can't do with B attitude today.
Hey man, B's get degrees. I mean, normally it would be C's get degrees, but not at my school.
That's what things
Send help.
Please send help. I remember when it was my first year of university. Like, there's like, so what's a pass? A pass is 40%. It's like 40%. You're kidding. That's fantastically easy. Like, end of the year is like, oh my god, please let me get 40%, please.
I'll pass it. Boss Scoro has just subscribed. Yeah, at my school.
Oh my god, an actual sub. It's my first actual sub, I think. Holy
really?
crap! Yeah. Thank you very much, Boscaro. My first actual sub. You are awesome. I absolutely love you. But thank you very much for being my first actual sub. That's amazing.
You are now professional.
I'm now actually professional. I'm tearing up over here.
He's crying.
I am a little bit. Screw the league. I don't care about the ref anymore. I got sub. Oh, did you get sub as well? I don't know. I haven't been subbed before, but I haven't been paying attention to chat, so maybe you subbed as well. In which case, I got 2 subs today. Oh, in which case, I'm very sorry, you bag. I wasn't paying attention. A huge thank you to you as well. I also love you very, very much. Thank you, guys. It's an emotional moment for me.
So sentimentality and crying Nemo aside. Yeah, at my school, passing grade is 80%. Because not only do you need a B in order to pass, but the grading scale actually adjusts, so you need a whole like 10% higher. You need a 93, 94% in order to get an A minus.
Jesus.
Yeah. If your overall GPA is a C, then you don't make it.
That's rough.
Oh, yeah. It's a fun school. We love it here.
Again,
so this is what you're talking about the multicolor beam spam.
Yeah, this looks nice. You get, for example, like, and it's not beams, but you get like IR pulse lasers, beam pulsers, and heavy blasters. It's not beams, but it's a nice color selection just going off.
Aura right now is just such a good like selling point for the light show mod.
Definitely. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna like speed through the first couple of waves just because the interesting parts are path there onwards, and it is, of course, it's already like almost 20 past 10 for me, so.
This is the eighth fleet, so we're 2/3 through, almost.
Yeah, to me, we're 2/3 through, and we're actually quicker than I thought it was going to be. I was expecting like 20 minutes of faction, which would give us about 4 hours. We're slightly ahead of that.
Yeah, but that's just because people keep dying to the Luds.
Well, yeah, I'm thankful for the Luds in part.
Except, you're not really, because CR wars suck.
They do. And I do want to see what's Wave 6. I do want to see what Wave 6 is. But I don't think, the thing is, like, I don't think it's happening on CR, because even if you, like, beat, like you proved, if you beat Lud and you beat the Capital Fleet, at that point you have got any CR left. Nothing has left. Like, nothing will have,
And I've seen the final wave, the second wave. I don't think there's a chance in hell anyone can beat it after that because of CR reasons.
So look at this. This is pretty beam spam right here. I think this is pretty beam spam. Like
Especially as you fast forward, honestly.
All the wasps and all the PD lasers as well. Not PD lasers, the burst PDs from the longbows, from the Zyphos.
The longbow spam and wasp spam together is such a cool combo. I'm kind of falling in love with these fighters.
I do like longbows. Longbows are really nice. As are Zyphos. Zyphos are awesome. But again, I'm going to skip to the frigate wave because it should be. I actually think it's going to be slower. Maybe.
But the beams are probably. Good job. Hard to say.
It took a while, but then everything was running in. It's fast forwarding. Oh, look at that kill feed now. Let's give it a moment. Kill feed to clear.
Well, the kill feed's going up because you're fast forwarding.
Yeah, of course, but I want to give it a moment for it to clear a little bit. There's a lot of ion in this fleet, of course, because of all the Zyphos. There's a lot of ion in this fleet.
Captain of the PCs asks if Knights Templar fight yet. No, they're in the.
They were on Tuesday, I think, wasn't it? They were.
Yep.
That's
on YouTube.
Underdog League. So because Underdog League was on Tuesday, and Underdog next week will be on Tuesday as well.
Yep.
Next week will be the last week. It'll be week 3, round 3, and Underdog is going to be on Tuesday. I'm not sure who's going to be streaming that, but I'm going to be streaming Prime League, the end of the tournament, same time next week for me.
Yep.
I hope you're free for that as well, because this has been kind of fun.
Oh yeah, I've been free for both days, hence me doing the stuff. I don't have classes until 7 p.m. for my time on both of these days, which is a bizarre day strategy, but it means I have the whole day open, basically.
I do like the Beatitudes. I think the Beatitudes, of the RA fleet at the moment. I know we haven't really talked much about it, which is kind of criminal.
Yeah, it is.
Of the builds. I think the most effective ship they've got is the Beatitude, just because it's got the iron pulses and pulse lasers, which just do a lot of good work.
They deserve an A attitude.
Yeah. We're back to that pun, are we?
I think they've earned it.
Yeah. I think because everything else is quite nice. I mean the harmonies with the IR pulse lasers are quite nice as well, but the true damage. I think Aura is a testament to Tartiflex's ingenuity, where he managed to make a proper broadside faction. The ships will actually turn full on broadsides.
Yeah, and he did it just kind of over the course of 2-3 months. He just decided, hey, I fixed broadside more or less. Let's make a faction out of it.
I also love the graphics for the bow thrusters on the Beatitudes as well. Aura in general, the Beatitudes in specific.
It's a ridiculous faction for it to have existed so suddenly.
Do neutrino fight in this tournament? Sorry, Vanguard. The neutrinos dropped out. They were supposed to be an Underdog League, but because of reasons outside the game, the whoever was in charge
Player got too busy and had to drop out.
Had to drop out.
Unfortunately, that's what happens. But that's part of why it's nice that we have the Underdog League. It can still participate. So if it's not gonna hurt anything if they drop out.
Yeah. I kind of want to see if at some point Tardy has any ORA specific fighters planned. That'll be very interesting to see. Because at the moment they're using vanilla fighters, vanilla high tech fighters, but vanilla fighters.
They have fighters.
Do they?
Yeah. They just aren't using them in the tournament.
Oh yeah, they got the little fervor ships. Yeah, I remember.
Yep.
We have here litany throwers on the Sanctuary. Which I think, sadly, the litany throwers are the only ORA weapon being used.
Choirs. There's choir mains.
Okay, yeah, a couple of choirs here and there, that's true. But
Aura does rely on a lot of it as a faction anyway.
Yeah.
They have a weird sort of not vanilla plus.
I kind of was hoping for because I do like the Sempiternal repeaters. I think they're pretty. They're a nice slower auto post laser, but they can keep going forever, kind of thing.
Aura is another faction I haven't ever actually played as because I can't figure out flying a broadside ship.
Because I think when I was waiting for an point, at some point I was doing something between. I was waiting for a patch or something. So I was doing a lot of stuff between patches. I was doing a lot of arcade missions and stuff.
Yeah, you were.
I did all the arcade missions for the RA. I was interesting faction. I don't think there's enough there to warrant playing a whole campaign as that faction. It's not enough there yet.
Yeah, possibly. You guys do that a lot with the streaming, especially.
But it's definitely.
I was doing those Nuzlocke challenges if you were.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna stop doing it because it's too easy to be repetitive and trying to actually win. I need to laze about in another campaign.
Yeah, I think I've unintentionally sort of fallen into rhythm of whenever a new patch comes out, I'll do one free-for-all campaign. And then I'll impose restrictions, because the restrictions are what makes it more interesting.
Yeah, I'm too brutal with my restrictions though. That Nuzlocke thing, buy ships, and I could only have one ship of every hull type ever. It meant that I was just soloing fleets as a Starlight Tempest for days.
To avoid losing anything else.
Yeah, exactly, and that wasn't very fun. At least that I thought. Some people were enjoying it, but I thought it was just too much.
You gotta do what's fun for you.
Yeah.
You can never please everyone. So, dude, look at this, look at that. I love the Beatitudes. Everything's joining in, like beams and like heavy blasters and all the pulsars.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty colors, man. It's very much a pretty color kind of faction.
It is.
Like as you said, it's a one faction endorsement for Light Show.
And it came out about the same time as Light Show, I think.
Developed side by side. Like, Light Show came out a bit ahead of it, I think, but I'm pretty sure.
I mean, it was a mini mod that just got thrown together. Someone was going, hey, the high intensity laser kind of.
We haven't been talking about it so far. The ORA hasn't actually lost enough to. They're actually kind of winning against this.
They're doing a good job.
They're doing a good job. They are hardy ships as well. Like, they are not easily killed.
Yeah,
they are flying bricks.
They have so much ion that they're pushing the Bloody Path back. It's not like mid-tech where they have enough ion to kind of hit this stuff. These guys, the longbow, they turn ships off easily, and they have energy weapons, which means their DPS is high enough that they can actually go to fight. That being said, they're taking losses.
Yeah, they're taking losses.
It's not a clean fight.
No, if they win, it'll be a Pyrrhic victory.
Yeah, they're probably not. They're not going to push to the next one, I don't think.
I'm ever hopeful.
We can be hopeful, but they're going to be outnumbered like 2-1 with a fleet that has 5 capitals.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be beating the capital fleet, but we can hope that they'll beat this one.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I figure they have a pretty good chance of winning this one, but the capital fleet is just such a giant cliff.
The problem here is, I think it happened last week as well, Beatitudes have low CR, or something, because Beatitudes run out of CR very quickly. I'm not sure why, but the Beatitudes are already like on single-digit CR. The Harmony's already on 0 over here. That's already on 0.
Are Beatitudes cruisers or...
Cruisers. Beatitudes are cruisers, I think.
Yeah, they might just have low. Oh, everything's getting CR'd now, isn't it?
Yeah. There was one glitched out elevation here who is just... No, it's not glitched out, it's 37. But yeah, it's glitched out because he's over there in the same position as... It's a glitch position. It's a carrier away from everything else.
I don't think it's glitched. I think it's trying to capture the point.
Oh, okay, fair enough. But it's the only thing with any CR at the moment.
Yeah, as soon as the point was captured, it turned Starsector back on. So it was just being not smart.
Yeah, and it's the only thing with any CR left right now. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, like.
I was thinking they were gonna make it through this one. CR just hit like a rock.
It's because like a lot of the ships, all the CR hits at once, and okay, when you the first time it goes through, you finish wave 2, your CR gets reset, but then at every point, the entire fleet loses CR at the same time. So the entire fleet hits 0 CR at the same time. We're taking, you know. So they go from like full combat capacity to a very low combat capacity all at once. I wonder what would happen if. Is it possible to like reset CR, the PPT counter between waves?
I don't know, and I feel like knowing Target probably was intentional not to try. He probably thought, oh, I want to balance. Because otherwise, if it resets completely, then there'd be no reason to really care about CR.
Because here we have the Dominators are at CR right now.
Oh, they are actually, yeah.
The Onslaught isn't, so this is why they'll win, but the Dominators are CR.
Yeah, and the Felicity's at like 9%. Dominator hit the destroyed Felicity and no, it didn't miss it. It undershot, so it's fine.
Tardy thought about resetting PPT entirely, but decided for a compromise between full or none. There.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep, so that's, again, Gatekeeper wave for the ORA.
Yep, 2 points for Aura.
What's the actual breakdown so far?
So far, we have, out of the 8 factions, Diable is leading the way with 4 points, followed by a tie between mid and high tech with 3. Then everyone else is 2 points. So only 3 factions have made it past the Luddic Path.
Right, so now we have Sigh. We added to the Nemean Lion 4 Corocotas and 2 Arguses last week with 2 more Corocotas and 8 more Arguses.
Oh, it's going real fighter heavy.
Fighter heavy. And all the Arguses, they're exactly the same build. They all have Gnosis Interceptor wings, which are the wings with light kinetic penetrator and double light lances and flare launchers.
Yeah, it's a kind of a balanced interceptor, basically.
Let's go straight in.
Not great, not bad, but it does the job, and it's pretty cheap.
And there are a lot of them. There are now 10. There are 10 carriers with 2 wings
Hopefully
each.
they don't all get in a giant donut of escorting.
God, no, please.
Only 400 on budget, that's pretty close.
Yeah. And like Sigh said, even Sigh didn't technically make it past the onslaught, the Luddic Path slot.
Yeah, the mid-tech.
You killed everything else, which is why the wave ended. Look. Yeah. The Zone Scorchers will do a lot of damage to all the fighters and frigates now.
Oh, and the Zone Scorchers are probably going to no-sell the Luddic entire missile thing. So much of the damage is based on the Annihilators and Reapers. So they might actually have a pretty good chance against the Path.
I think every single Argus is escorted the Nemean Lion. We have 10 Arguses escorting the Nemean Lion right now.
Hey man, you gotta work with what you got.
Yeah. I'm not complaining, it's just crazy to see them all there, going, hi! Then you have essentially what amounts to 60 Gnosis Interceptors flying around, which is 120 light lances flying around. There's maths for you.
That's fast math.
Quick math.
Quick math, right. YY Puck says a cool design choice would be to add a morale thing where a ship kills another ship. It has a chance to increase peak time and get more CR. Also, when a ship dies, all nearby ships roll the dice into their lose CR peak time or get more. I don't think that's a very good idea, just because that would further snowball safety override fleets and anything with like really quick time to kill. Somehow you would end up with just a mechanic where, hey, if you kill things quickly, you would never run out of CR, and that defeats the purpose.
Yeah. CR is the hard cap. The CR is the true boss of this tournament, I think.
Yeah, there's too much of it, I think. I mean, that's not. I'm not trying to take a dig at Tardy, because I know he was busy and he just didn't have the time to fully test everything.
I think we have.
And he wanted as many different ships in the field as possible.
I think that's a donut of 4.
A what?
A donut of 4 Arguses there.
Oh boy.
I think it's begun.
It has begun.
I'm going to shift through the first 2 waves again, as usual, just because... If you die in the first 2 waves, then why am I even here?
Yeah, nothing's died in the first 2. Not on us, not on Underdog either.
Again, like, much like how I think Tardy did last week, like, the first few waves are just baseline, and then, like, you have when it starts getting harder and harder and harder.
Yeah, the difference is with the derelicts, the first 2 waves were they were derelicts, so you could just steamroll them. These fleets are harder to fight in a format. I mean, Diable, I guess, kind of pulled it off with all the missiles. But there's only so much you can do, no matter what. I think DME did a pretty decent job of sweeping.
Hey, how are you doing here? I think the Arguses broke out of the donut, thankfully. I think enough enemies got close to it that they really. I think maybe when the waves reset, it might break out of the donut, just because of the teleport.
Who knows? Maybe.
Who knows how the AI in this thing works?
But Sigh is making its wave 3 unbloodied. Like, I don't think any of the ships have even taken damage yet.
No, like a lot
Oh
of...
no, and Argus took like 40%.
Yeah, I see over here. Yeah.
But it's a Civ ship. Who cares? Just kidding.
Ooh, a very nicely placed singularity torpedo there. Another one.
Yeah, I'm like almost exactly. That's better than 3 minutes.
This is looking good for Sigh. We said that to previous patches before, so I don't want to blow it too early, but they haven't reached CR problems yet. They lost an Argus. They haven't reached CR problems yet, and this is very good. The Nemian line is currently behind the onslaught. Probably not the best time to fire the singularity right there because it kind of pulled it back into the front, but you could have just stayed there and just fired. Never mind, there's now an they're surrounding the onslaught. They're dealing with the onslaught first. That onslaught currently has 3 Korokottas and technically the Nemian line there as well.
And a bunch of Gnosis.
Lost another Argus. Yeah, lost another Argus. The Argus, again, they'll pop fairly quickly.
The Argus, it's doing that thing where it just sits right in front of the hard points. That has to be an intentional I mean, not intentional that way, but like it's a feature where the AI is coded to do that. I don't like it.
Yeah. A lot of the Arguses are going on losing STR, but they're also popping quite quickly.
Oh, you know what? I wonder if that's a function of escorting. Is that the ship is trying to make itself look like a good target, or as opposed to whatever it's escorting.
Just gonna keep focusing on the onslaught because that's kind of more important. The Argus is dying down there.
Yeah. Just a cluster of Arguses with like 1 or 2 Korokottas.
Yeah.
And yeah, it looks like the whatever they're called, the flak guns that the Korokottas have. Zone Scorchers are definitely no-selling the Dominators.
The frontal right side of the Nemian line is a low hull. That armor takes a lot of punishment, but
yeah,
they are pushing it back. I mean, the onslaught is gone on really low hull right now.
Mm-hmm. It's losing the Flux War just to HE weapons. That's how good having a range advantage is.
Yeah. Yeah, like HE doesn't not great against shields, but 2 high explosive mortar Mark IIIs. Damage
Firing
is still damage.
Beyond the range that the onslaught can return fire at, it's just going to take damage regardless.
Yep. Sigh also seems to be operating at. I think the Arguses have. The Arguses have say, ACM or some kind, or is it the Korokottas? Because they've got -20. They've got 26%. That's including
26%.
It's including both the sensor jammers, I think. Yeah, they
probably.
No, they only have one sensor jammer. They've got 21 without sensor jammers.
Yeah, it's probably the Arguses then. It might just be the new Arguses because I don't remember seeing it yet.
Uh-oh. The Nemian line cannot juke it out. Not at close range.
No, it can't. It got a little bit greedy.
They got to the wave though. They killed everything apart from the onslaught. And the onslaught's
The Nemian's gonna win. It's just taking a lot more damage than it should.
There you go. Korokotta gets behind it. Onslaught is down. Sigh gets through. They lost. And a quick head count. They lost 5 of their Arguses. Everything else is in. No, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, there's 3 Arguses. Okay.
And yeah, Carraway just confirmed all the Argus have ECM.
Okay, there you go. Nemian Lions lost first armor plate.
Nemian should do a pretty good job of mopping up the shields.
Although the Nemian seems to be quite clever, as in, I'm not sure if it's doing it on purpose, but it seems to be angling its shield to cover the side that hasn't got armor plate.
I think it's just because that's where the missiles are getting fired from, to be honest.
Aww. I thought it was going to be cool.
I'm sorry, the AI, it's good, but I don't know if it's that good.
Also interesting, because like what happened in the previous fight, it actually is a very inconvenient, large, undestroyed onslaught hull right there. It's kind of screwing with people's navigation right now.
First, it messed with Sigh first because they couldn't like actually deploy all their units at once. It's in the way, but it's gonna drift towards the pirates and make them. So we'll see who wins in the end, I guess.
Nemean Lion still got 2 guns, very much active, very much shooting. Oh, backed off just a bit too early, I think. Because if he managed to get a good, clean shot off on that Barbarian would take a lot less to come right now.
I don't think it would have been worth it to try and go in because with the ion beam and then the weapon range with the high intensity laser on that other ship, it would have taken a lot of damage. And I don't know if it would have even been able to kill the Barbarian in time.
Okay, there you go. I think the nose just killed off the amalgam.
Mm-hmm. And Argus took a lot of damage from the Sigh.
Yeah. That Toreador is trying to 1v1 the onslaught there. The zone scored again. Oh, never mind.
I don't know if they're gonna make it, but they're putting up a really good fight.
Yeah, they flew back. They flew back straight over the front of it again, and you can't really fly in front of an onslaught without having to expect that to happen.
Yeah, I think I was trying to retreat, but the only way to retreat was through the PCs.
The Nemo line needs to get stuck in again. Yeah, very good. The Barbarian can't really put its shields up right now, so Barbarian's dead pretty much.
I think the Zone Scorchers are really suffering now that ships have shields.
Well, it's only fragmentation damage, isn't it?
Exactly. It's persistent and very reliable fragmentation. But if they have a shield or any other kind of defense that can nullify it.
Sadly so.
Mm-hmm.
If it was like you or I, we might be able to like spread the shots a bit so they can arc around the shield because the Zone Scorcher can do that, but it's not reliable enough, and you lose a lot of damage that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Demon Lion lost its other frontal shield panel now, and it's currently trying to duel off with a dragon and an onslaught and a stalker.
Lions don't usually go down without a fight.
They don't, but it could really use some Zone Scorchers backed up right now. It's taking so many rockets.
Yeah. I don't think it's long for this world right now. The Onslaught could easily finish it off if it wants. The Dragon hides perfectly behind the Onslaught to vent.
Sometimes the AI works.
Yeah, we've been discussing this a lot in like in the last stream and in Discord in general. The AI in 0.8 whatever is a lot. It's better in a lot of ways, but it's a lot more volatile and prone to weirdness. Like there definitely are areas where the AI continues to improve steadily whenever there's updates. But it just does some weird, questionable things now.
It's gotten to the stage where they can't get enough guns on target. Like a lot of the ships are actually not too bad. Like the Toreador's there actually on high CR and high health. But
yeah, but now they're just outnumbered with capitals, especially.
Yeah, they can't bring enough damage to bear it quickly enough. And without the frontal shields, the enemy line can't really vent safely. It's trying to though. And it's got enough range on the dragon to get away with it.
Yeah, but the dragon outruns it, so... Well, it would outrun it if it wasn't for the nebula.
That said, the dragon cannot stay there like this. That said, there's a lot of fighters coming in.
Dragons are amazing capitals, I love them. I mean, they're still just like a pirate capital, but for a pirate capital, they should never be discounted.
There are good pirate capitals and the bad pirate capitals. The dragon is a good pirate capital.
Mm-hmm.
The Infernus is over there as well. The Infernus hasn't even had to do... The Infernus has taken a little bit of hull damage, like a smidgen of hull damage. Probably just due to like constant whatchamacallit, it's constant.
Zone Scorcher?
Zone Scorcher, there you go. Hacking words.
Oh heck, it's basically just the Capitals now and a Stalker and a Griffin. But the Griffin's out of ammo.
Griffin's
I don't
out of
know if
ammo.
we can reload or not.
The Griffin's out of ammo, but the Sigh's out of CR. There's one Argus out of CR, that's another Argus out of CR, that's one Karakot out of CR. That's an overloaded Nemean Lion. That's supposed to die.
Wyvern says, wow, he went to run errands, came back, and... Yeah, these rounds are really long. Unfortunately.
That's it, Sigh is 9th?
Sigh is, yeah, 9th.
Yeah, so we're slightly ahead of where I was expecting it to be, so not that bad.
I think my fleet is the only one that actually didn't die to CR. It just died because straight up it didn't have enough numbers to fight off the next round.
Now, is that a note on like Diable CR numbers, or is that a note on?
No, I think it's just my fleet was just by whatever circumstance the only one who didn't die specifically because of CR. But it got real close. It was CR'd by towards the end. You remember? It was just like the Maelstrom and the Haze that were fighting it out while everything else was sitting. And the Haze died, but the Maelstrom survived.
Oh, it's okay. That Karakot is the only allied ship with CR at the moment.
The Infernus let up the it's whatever the gun's called, the Hailfire on a Argus, I think.
Oh, that's the Karakot there as well. The problem with the Infernus, that gun breaks so quick, so much.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like supposed to break actually.
I think in my pirate playthrough, I think it did break that often.
Like just on its own?
Yeah, not as often, but I think I do remember it breaking it for no reason.
Then yeah, that might just be a scripted thing with the gun, is that it's really unstable.
But it's technically like 3 TPCs just cobbled together in a turret.
Yeah, basically. Without ammo limitations.
There you go, vanquished by the capital fleet, but managed to get through the Lily Path fleet relatively unscathed.
Yep.
Which is like huge points.
So we have roughly half of the fact and half of not.
Just better than it was last time, I guess. Now we have Shadow Yards. Drink of water first.
Last week the median score was 5. This week the median score is 2, I guess.
Yeah.
Or the mode, rather. SRA.
SRA. Now we have, I think, what's changed from last week? Because you have now 4 Tartaruses. Tartari?
4 of them? Oh, they're good.
4 Tartaruses with a Wave Pulse and a Storm Blaster each, and 5 Chain Gang CPCs. They've got a lot of
Vulgar Uncle Cruisers. I like that name.
There's 1 Storm Blaster, 1 Wave Pulse Cannon, 2 Light CPCs, and 5 Chain Gangs a pop. It's a lot of PD as well. And then these are the new ships that just came out, isn't it? The Minaret class.
Are they?
Missile destroyers.
Ooh, the little sidecar looking thing? Yeah.
Yeah, I think they just came out with the newest patch. 3 medium missiles.
3 Barago LRMs.
With the missile autoforge. And there's 3 of those. There's 9 Barago LRMs with the missile autoforges. I think the rest of the fighters have...
Barago is unlimited ammo, so it's not really making you...
There has been some change to Barago in the new patch as well. I can't remember what it was, but there's been some... Barago changed in the new patch.
And they'll probably do a lot better now that everything doesn't have and armor it. Because that's one of the issues with Barago, is that it's a lot of very low damage hit.
Let's see, now control. If I remember correctly. So you were saying something about the fact that the Barago leave behind their...
Yeah, they leave behind like a shell casing.
Yeah.
Because they fire first, and then they zoom off, and they leave the shell casing, which, yep, they're still there.
Yeah. I was wondering if that's what's changed, but no, they're still there. Maybe they don't last for as long, I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, I mentioned it in stream, and Donka said like, oh yeah, sorry. So maybe they're not. They're meant to disappear after a while now. I wasn't complaining when I was talking about them. I thought it was just like, hey, yeah, this is one extra thing.
Again, another faction that just looks awesome.
Night shift, yeah, the Bragos are on the camera. There's some focuses.
Also, those Tartars have a lot of PD. That's 5 chain gangs above. That's a lot of PD.
Is it though on a cruiser?
Chain gangs are mediums, aren't they?
Are they? I don't know.
Yeah, they're mediums. Like one there, 2 in the front, hard points. It looks like they're using them for damage.
I struggle to remember a lot of SRA's stuff because I don't like playing as high-tech factions too much. Like the really high-tech ones. And to me, Shadow Yard feels like the most high-tech faction there is, even more so than vanilla.
It's hard to say, like, there's every once in a while just turning on the siege mode, getting a lot more range, a lot more damage. I think siege mode.
Mm-hmm. I mean, don't get me wrong, Shadow Yard's a fun faction. I just don't play it.
A lot of Paragos running off. Yeah. Again, the Nimir doing the good job of not hitting with his Nidhogg. Yep, missed again. Such a shame that happened.
Yeah, because it's such a good gun.
But like someone said, like when it was during your stream, it's essentially a minor like Arendite. It's a slightly less powerful Arendite. It just goes straight to its targets. Or you even firing that at. Just miss completely like, between targets.
Fighters maybe.
Oh god. Yeah, so like with the way less armor we've got this time around, the wave pulse cannons are far more useful.
Oh yeah, so SRA is going to do a lot better at this than normal. Especially like not just with the Brago LRMs, but in general, that was what I was talking about last week with them being so awkward against derelicts. Is they have so much low damage but high rate of fire weaponry.
Siege mode is increased range, increased shield, and increased turning speed for lower actual speed.
Yep.
On the Tartarus.
Turns it into a turret.
Yeah. So they've got wave pulse cannons and a storm blaster as well, so they've got. Just sit down and hammer things a bit. Zoom out and just make sure we have a quick end of this wave.
Angry says the Nidhogg has a 5-second charge up, so the AI tends to activate it, then the target moves away.
Yeah, I can see that happening. The AI is. To be fair, I managed to hit this mule with it a little bit.
Yeah, it did. It overloaded the mule and hit the nose.
Okay, now buffalo over there, and then there's a mule over there.
Fired the Nidhogg at the corpse and the mule. It hit the mule corpse, but you know, still a corpse.
Right, there you go. Incoming frigate wave. Here is where like the turreted wave pulse cannons will do a lot of damage.
Oh yeah, I think SRA is going to do a pretty good job this wave. With the cast beams and everything, I think they'll probably mount it.
Also, the siege mode also reduces weapon flux against. Very, very nice.
It makes it a turret, and it's great.
We got 4 of them.
With this many frigates, you can hope the Nidhogg actually hits something.
The thing is, like, you want the Nidhogg to hit a line and go through all the frigates at once.
Yeah.
But it's not going to do that.
Look at where the Mimir is right now. It could take out half.
I know. It's not going to. It's like, come on! Just turn.
You want it to, though.
Just put it there. That's a clip-worthy moment if that happens.
Yep.
Nah, they've broken up the line now.
Unfortunate.
I think they're using the Tartarus is also using the front-mounted chain gangs as damage. Because again,
as it should. It saw my Maelstrom and was inspired.
Pretty much.
PD as primary weapons, I better try that out.
And it overloads it with the actual, because like a chain gang is like something stupid rate of fire, like several thousand rounds per second.
I think it has the maximum rate of fire that the game actually allows it to be, which I want to say is like 600 a minute, so 10 per second, because that's how fast the game calculates like shots and damage.
Fair enough. Yeah, it probably has max.
Yeah, because I remember that the Vulcan, for instance, has max, so increasing its rate of fire doesn't add to it.
So Vulcans on a ship with accelerated ammo feeder is not adding
Yeah, I
anything.
wouldn't change the Vulcan at all. That Tartarus is caught out, but it's a cruiser fighting a bunch of tiny little pirate frigates, so it doesn't really care.
And it can turn because of siege mode. It can just turn very well.
Yep. And siege mode means it has a bubble shield, whereas normally it wouldn't. I think. Yeah, it doesn't. It only has like 300 degrees.
That's it. It's kind of high flux right now, and it's been hit by
sabos and stuff.
sabos and stuff.
Yeah, it's EMP'd. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh?
Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O.
Was it the harpoon?
No, I'm just watching the Tartarus. I can't say it right now. It's just in an awkward position because of the ion. It looks like it didn't lose armor completely. Oh, yeah, it lost a little bit on that support side.
Yeah. A smidgen. Yeah, let's finish off the frigate. Because the next waves we want to see it happen. Morning Star's run out of ammo. Wonder what it was firing. Splinter rockets. Let's run out of splinter. There you go. Pather fleet.
This could go either way, I think. Because they have armor.
Our Sargasso's caught out here quite badly, in fact.
Oh, that's not a good thing.
Well, yeah, that Sargasso is caught out quite badly. It's a shame. It's got a couple of, I think it's got a couple of Rakshasa wings.
Yeah, honestly, just the loss of that carrier already makes it a little bit iffy on whether they can make it through this.
Losing like a Rakshasa wing is painful. Kind of wondering.
He's only got so many Sargassos.
Yeah.
The issue on this one is gonna be again the armor.
Yeah.
The Tartarus has wave pulse. They have more wave pulses, which might help, but it's hard to say.
I'm also hoping that the chain gangs help stop the missile spam, but no, it's sitting right in front of the turrets and that thing.
It's in siege mode at least.
Yeah, but siege mode can only do so much when.
Yeah, and it's distracted by the little frigates everywhere.
You know, what it looked like, that looked like 6 piranhas just firing hammers at it at close range.
Yep. At least the cruisers know which way to aim, he says in chat. As the cruiser aims at everything but the target.
Oh! Sniped Reaper shot against the Sargasso there by the Onslaught. Saw an opportunity and just took it.
Yep. I'm telling you, turreted Typhoon Reapers are powerful. The AI knows how to fire those things. Ooh, we can hope that the Elysium gets a couple good shots off with its special weapon. Because of how fast the Flooded Path ships are, it'd be a really good opportunity to get them to move out of position and get surrounded. Or if they shoot and save.
Well, they managed to stop the Onslaught, but not sure they're going to be able to capitalize on that.
Yeah, not in that position. And the Elysium's taking damage. Well, they're capitalizing on it a little bit. The Elysium's a bit too greedy, though. It's blocking the actual DPS weapons, like the blades, wave those. Yeah, that Elysium got very greedy for that.
And sadly, everything apart from the Mimir is on low CR right now.
Yep.
All the Tartaruses are about 30, the Elysium's at about 47.
Ouch.
Yep.
I'll be honest, I'm really disappointed that Elysium took so much damage there. I love that ship.
The Mimir can't seem to pick a target right now, which is unfortunate because it's got an onslaught behind it.
It's just spinning in place, confused.
Speaking of spinning in place, confused, again, like the engine art for Shadow Yards, the little like moving thrusters, they're so awesome.
They even have a braking animation. Like, what the hell? It's so good.
Seriously, we're like, this needs to be a commentary on like the tournament. We're just gushing over mods right now.
I mean, that's all you can do. You just stare at the work the community of this game has made and think, wow, that's really good. That's part of why we do these tournaments, is to showcase mods.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely.
Why I'm so glad that we have that's another reason I'm so glad we have the Underdog League.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, like the Underdog League actually made me want to actually look into and actually perhaps try out Borkin, because Borkin actually, I was afraid Borkin was going to be way more broken than it was. Oh, nice! You actually hit a Mimir shot. Well done. You actually got a good Nidhogger shot off there. Actually did work.
Beautiful kill.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to do. Just like snipe targets away.
That Condor didn't even know how to react, just watched it happen.
Unfortunately, that wreck is in the way because, like, they're technically winning.
Ooh, yeah, they're gonna win. I think they're gonna win this, depending on whether or not.
It depends on the onslaught. It really just depends on the onslaught. I think they can take everything else out. Is can they pressure the onslaught enough to get the damage on it?
Or just kill the other ships and just make it past the wave. You know?
Yeah.
Because of course, as we've seen a couple times, they don't actually have to kill the onslaught for the extra point. And these Dominators and the onslaught would be perfect targets for the Nidhogg.
It's on 49% CR. If the Mirror managed to got in there behind the onslaught, that would be fantastic.
It all depends on this Mirror.
Yeah, it's all down to the Mirror. Everything else is in such low CR they can't really do anything. I think they'll make it through just because everything else. Oh my god, there's a second Dominator. I didn't even realize there's a second Dominator up there.
Yeah, it's the two Dominators left alive, which is why I'm.
And there's a Condor there, though. The Condor's gonna die anyway.
If the Mimir fired its Nidhogg at the Dominator, it could probably like take out its weapons and some of its systems and use that to push. Yeah, it looks like it's taking it out anyway. Just Wave Pulse is doing enough damage.
And
the bombers.
And the onslaught's busy chasing a Morningstar, so that Morningstar's doing work by just distracting the onslaught.
Good job, Morningstar. You're a real hero.
That said, the Morningstar isn't actually enough to. Actually, no, it is enough to slowly drain away the CR. I wasn't sure if it was going to be enough. I wasn't sure if it was enough of a threat. Well, that said, the Morningstar.
I think it's just because it's picking up the Mimir in its sensor range.
No, Mimir, don't stop now! The thing's about dead! What are you doing? The Condor's down. Dominator is at 7 CR. Other Dominator is at 10 CR, but very high flux. That Mimir fell back at the wrong moment. It got distracted by a single fighter, and it's... Nidhogger shot, come on! It's over.
It could kill it with one Nidhogg shot.
I know, it's...
At any point.
It's painful to see.
Oh, and it just keeps turning to fight the fighter, and the fighter doesn't have a character.
No, it doesn't.
And it missed a Nidhogg shot because it was going to fire it, but it turned away for the fighter. Jesus Christ, fighter, just go away.
And if you look at the flux levels, the Nidhogg, the Mimir, and the Onslaught are pretty much exactly the same.
You realize what's happening with the Thunder too? Like it lost one of its engines while it was starting to boost away.
Oh, good. The fighter's dead now. The Nidhogg can hopefully focus.
Okay, good.
There you go. Good. Sorry, I kind of sped through that, which was a shame because that was a good Mimir shot. Good Nidhogg shot against the. Okay, Tartarus down. The explosion overloaded the Onslaught. The Onslaught can...
Come on, Mimir.
It's lost its armor, is pummeling straight into the hull now. The wave pulse is doing what it's supposed to be doing.
Get the extra point.
Yes, the Baragos are doing their job, because the Baragos are kinetic, of course, I think, right?
I don't remember.
They look kinetic. They look kinetic.
Yeah, with the amount of damage they just did, I think they're kinetic.
Oh no. Engine malfunction on the Mimir. Oh! No! No! So close. So close. Yes, they're kinetic according to Shadowy.
That was such a disappointing.
They won.
Shot.
They managed to destroy the Dominator died somehow. So technically. Oh, in which case they definitely win because all the CR is back. All the CR is back, so at which point the Onslaught has 9 CR, but the Mimir has got back up to 70. So the Onslaught's dead pretty much. If the
Onslaught's dead, but
the Mimir actually kills it. Because at the moment
we can safely say that that's 3 points for the Shadow Yard, I think.
Well, yeah, they've definitely got the 3 points, but the Mimir gives up. The Mimir just decides that the Onslaught's no longer worth it. Fires off. Oh, sadly, he didn't quite make it. Fired off Nidhogg straight into an Eagle D's shields. Goes. Actually uses its drive, which I haven't actually seen it use so far. But yeah, this drives into suicide position.
It wants to die on its own terms.
Basically says to the Onslaught, "You're not killing me. I'm killing myself." And also, the Onslaught doesn't get the kill on that plate, so the Onslaught actually gets BM'd at the very end and gets denied the kill. It's 3 points to the Shadow Yards. Which leaves us with 2, I believe, right? I think. Leaves us with Toreador and...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10. Yeah, Toreador and whatever the last...
You've both forgotten. That's going to be a nice surprise. Now, see, Toreador added since last time a
pack.
An Atl with 4 Misericord drone wings, which are good. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if this was me, because I just did a whole campaign with Toreador, so I know more about them than anything else right now. I wanted to see Amentems with scimitars. An Amentem with 3 scimitars is just brokenly powerful. Because Amentem can carry 3 scimitars and it gets reserve deployment, so it can double that to 6.
Yeah.
So it's like 6 scimitars are just so powerful. That's one thing I wanted to see here. We haven't seen it, but it would have been.
Also, have you seen the large weapons on the torches or whatever they are?
Yeah, they are the Monsoon Lotus launchers.
Yep. So get ready.
A lot of missiles.
I don't know if you saw my my stream, but we're gonna get a lot of drones.
Oh yeah, drones. Looking forward to the drones. Again, 1,000 below cap. And of course, they've also got fleet server on the Atl, which is going to increase the power of the drones dramatically.
Of course.
And look at all the ram drives. I think all that needs to happen is all those lances need to fire off every single drone they can before they die to ram drives.
Because they're gonna die to ram drive, like that's just
given. They're lances. They have ram drives. I do love the fact that every little drone gets to say a line. Like someone was talking about patching it out. I think don't. Keep it in. I love the fact that every single little drone says things.
if you're gonna have a silly thing like a weapon that shoots more drones, keep it silly.
Yeah, it's like every drone is going to say engaging target. I think I just picture it in a very like thin little voice, engaging target.
They're little voices, but they all have an IR pulse laser, which is horrifying given how many of them. Actually,
Luckily, it's high delay, but it's still an IR pulse laser.
They have 2 of them actually, I think.
There are 2 different drone types that the Toreador can use. There's this one, the Corvo one, which has twin IR pulse lasers, and then there's the Colbretta, which has a PD laser, but they fire more drones out than Corvo. Again, you have the massive like sort of drone swarms. The Lances are there to deposit drones, as far as I can tell, because the drones don't despawn and they've got shields.
Yep.
Okay, I'm not forgetting the Caltrop. The Caltrop is there. I mean, the Caltrop is also... It's more of a mine than a drone that way, so I know it exists. I'm counting as a mine rather than a drone. The Misericord as well, because the Misericord also has like IR pulse lasers, but they're not the high delay ones, I don't think. And they also phase drones. They're really good at just getting behind ships and just punish them from all angles. The thing, the one problem we have here with the drones is that they are not replaceable. Once they're gone, they're gone.
They're not replaceable, and the AI doesn't quite realize how effective a swarm of them are.
Well, you can't control them once they've been fired, sadly.
No, yeah.
So once they're fired, you leave them to their own devices.
But I mean, like, if the AI realized how many drones were on the field, they would just steamroll everything in a snowball effect. But instead, they kind of waver off, and they get killed off by point defense and missiles that they wouldn't need to be killed off to if they just took advantage of their superior firepower.
You speed up for this. You just see like the cloud of drones just get closer, and all the little text lines, which I just think is so cute. I want someone to voice these text lines just for the drones now. I'm surprised that the Lancers are still alive. They're not ram driving it. I wonder if, because you could change officers between missions, couldn't you? Between rounds.
Oh yeah, you can change personalities around.
So if they've been put to timid, then maybe.
It's hard.
Then maybe. Right. If you reloaded missiles between waves, then Toreador would be broken.
A lot of things would be broken. You could very easily make a broken fleet if they reloaded missiles.
Yeah, but because the drones don't disappear, every wave you just add another fleet of drones.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a very good reason the missiles don't replenish between waves. There's also a lot of pylum swarms around here because of all the lab races have 3 pylums each, and there's like 3 lab races right now. There's a lot of pylum flying around. Oh yeah, Tardy's joined us.
Yep. Yeah, no one made it past wave 5. I mean, only one person made it to wave 5. Everyone else died either at wave 3 or 4.
And mostly at wave 3.
And only one fleet technically didn't die straight up to CR loss. And it was a technical because it still did have CR loss. It just fought through the wave anyway.
Technically, the SRA didn't die to CR loss.
Oh yeah, that's true. That'd be 2 because that was the same principle of they managed to recover through the CR, but then died because they were sort of outnumbered. So that's 2 fleets that, still. The CR was a really big prize.
Wave 3-4 is as intended. Thought it would be. The Panther fleet has been the gatekeeper for today, essentially. Guaranteed. The little drones are just flying around and killing things. Hang on. Hang on. Good. Here we go. This is a little bit of slow motion. I've not been using the slow motion enough. You just fly with Corvo drones and they just get to target. And it's like, you know what? Hi.
It's just too many drones, I swear. We spent so much time asking if we can, we forgot to ask if we should.
I think I have decided I want those those lines voiced, but like in a Wall-E voice. I think if you've come this far, we can just add to the abomination.
Cypher, some people did do safety override in Armada. It didn't make much of a difference in their case because it was too much. Otherwise, hardened subsystems, it does overall lower the combat effectiveness of the ship. You have to have the right trade-off between killing and like power of the ships and their ability to outlast.
Yeah, the Pathers aren't necessarily that hard. It's because the problem is that once people get to Pathers, they're already losing CR.
And also, the first two waves on a lot of the factions have been stressful for them. About half of the factions have lost ships in the first two waves. So I think only Sigh came close to being unblooded when they got to the North Path, but they still have the Argus at 50% hull from ramming the Nemean Lion. And yeah, that cruiser with the aura, that gives the drones more effectiveness when it's in their area.
Fleet service, it's a capital thing. It's a capital carrier. It's got 4 flight bays, and yeah, I think it gives all fighters and think drones class as fighters for this purpose more damage. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a hull mod that can only go on Toreador ships and it can only go on capitals as far as I'm aware. And the trade-off is it lowers the rate of fire, but listen, you can put it on any ship, but the smaller the ship size, the greater the adverse effect on your rate of fire.
Mm-hmm.
So on a capital, the rate of fire is reduced by like 20%, but I think from a frigate, it's reduced by 70%.
Yeah, that's pretty extreme.
It's just to stop you fielding it on a... There's also, you don't actually have to put it on a carrier though, that's the thing. You can put it on a frigate, put the frigate in the front lines, and its only job there is to buff everything else, for example.
Yep.
So it's a very... Like, Toreador, because I had the very in-depth view because of my playthrough. Like, I really enjoyed Toreador. Like, I just really, really did.
Yeah, and it looks like that drone swarm has finally been thinned to the point where when you zoom out, it doesn't compress.
Yeah, I think they've also split into 2. There's a concentration down there, and a concentration over here as well.
That's true. That's true.
I think I'll be impressed because the officer change seems to have worked. I'm assuming there has been an officer change because there hasn't been a death to... There's not been any pointless ram driving. They have ram drive to close the distance, but they haven't ram drived into combat.
Yeah.
Which has been
That's
vital.
good.
Yeah. I open my mouth. I open my mouth.
That's what you get for making assumptions.
I open my mouth, and what happens? What happens immediately? Ram drives straight into between 2 Dominators.
It was a pretty hilarious thing that made that Condor cry.
That was beautiful. It hurt me.
The Lance may be alright for it, too.
Yeah, it hasn't been punished that badly.
I mean, it lost some starboard armor, but...
Alright, here comes the onslaught. Here we go. Lance down. The onslaught's backing away now. It's like the Atl is a really good ship. Like, it has... It's not fully equipped right now, because it's got 2 large energies to it as well. It's got like 4 small missiles, 2 large missiles, 2 large energies, and then quite a few small energies for PD as well, and 4 fighter bays. It's actually it's a very good carrier. It's not like brokenly powerful. It's just a solid carrier. Its ship system is like it deploys mines as well from the front. It deploys like the mine type drones, which is also very nice, but probably run out of them by this point. Oh, they're all turned to face the Dominator, who's kind of backing away, which is probably a bad thing, because you just presented your rear end to that onslaught, and he's getting in close. That said, like I said, those drones aren't affected by CR, so Toreador gets past. Just because...
Yeah, I mean, it depends whether or not the drones decide to go on the hill, you know?
There we go, hang on. Look at this slow motion wrecking here of... frankly, too many drones to count, just hitting the onslaught from every possible angle. It's a fleet. This is essentially death by 1,000 cuts. Will it die before the others catch up? We'll keep an eye on that as we go along. I'm actually quite happy because, like last week, I think Sigh was, because of the aggressive lances. Sigh was rather not Sigh. Toreador was rather shortchanged.
Yeah, they had I want to say aggressive. It might have just been steady though, and it was a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, they just lances suicided because of the ram drive. Now that they've held back, they've stayed alive. They've managed, just by staying alive, they've soaked fire away from anything else. And the Atlatl is just a solid cap ship. The Rook is the Onslaught. I think they managed to kill enough drones now to stop it, but the Onslaught there almost died.
Almost. Well, I don't know if it's that it killed the drones so much as it got supports.
The drone
probably won't, because yeah, we're seeing a lot less drones.
Even now, the Toreador's main damage in this fleet is the drones. They haven't got a lot of other damage. I think we're just left with pretty much the Atlatl there, which is taking a decent punishment. You can see how strong the actual ship is. It can take a lot of punishment. It takes a lot to take one of those down. And we have here is a single lance. Yeah, 24. So, but managed to get past the Panther fleet, so that's 3 points to Toreador.
Yep. Which is commendable on its own because, well, we're actually the last 3 factions have all made it to Wave 4. Sigh, SRA, and Toreador.
So how's it done to the balance then?
So making it to Wave 4 has become the new...
Ah. So now dying to the Panthers is now a badge of shame.
I don't know if it's shame, but it's like below average, or at least slightly left of median.
So what we have here is last one's pack, thank God, and it's still before midnight, which is what I was hoping for.
Yeah, last fleet.
So yeah, we have the Bulldog still, and the Bulldog and the Mastiffs from last time, the 3 Wire Foxes from last time as well. Then we've added a Frizzy Cruiser, which is not the same as no, it is the same, just added an extra Frizzy Cruiser.
Yep.
5 Commodore BEs, which basically have 4 railguns and a heavy mortar. With their accelerated ammo feeder, those railguns can really do a number on shields.
Yep.
And hardened shields as well, so they've got actually relatively...
Yeah, looks like they're brawlers.
Yeah, they're just sitting in front of the people, just wrecking down shields. And 2 more Barfy frigates, which have Salamander, Flak, and Mining Laser, and 6 Poopy frigates, which have a railgun, a mining laser, and proximity charge launchers, also in hardened shields. Okay.
Proximity mine launchers, really?
Yeah, proximity charge launchers on 6 of the Wire Foxes.
Interesting.
And some Felix drones, which come with the Bulldog anyway.
Yeah, so clearly Auric saw how well the screening frigates were doing last week, because, at least in my stream when I was watching it, I thought they were doing a fantastic job of screening. He's going really hard on those now.
Last match of the evening, Saint number 6 versus Oryxon. And a good 16,000, give or take, below.
Yeah.
the points go to Wikifish, who actually managed to pull off an exact 700,000.
Oh, come on. You say that every time. Wiki's always gotten an exact, and you always say woo.
I like it. I like the exactness. Now these Mastiffs are truly scary because the Mastiffs have like an Inferno and attacking lance on a turret. Well, not a turret, but on a swivel hardpoint.
Pieman lives. You left when Shadow Yards just started. They made it to Wave 4, and now we're at Toreador.
No, we're in a pack now.
Pack, right. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so Toreador went through, and they made it to Wave 4 as well. My bad.
Ooh, Wirefox took a lot of punishment, but it's a Wirefox, who cares? Wirefox died over there.
Well, they're screening frigates, so
yeah, but
their job.
They're dying very early for screening frigates. You want to stay alive a little bit more than that. There are more important ships to screen against further down the line.
Yep.
You don't want to be dying to like Wolf Ds and stuff, or Wolf Ps. So the Mastiffs, of course, have what's they got there? They've got mini blasters, yeah, which is the energy reliance. Forcer P is down. They'll mostly speed through the first couple of waves because nothing specifically very interesting tends to happen in these waves.
Yeah, nothing really.
I think these waves are going to set a bar. Like, these are like the entrance exam for the actual test, which is the Patriot fleet. Again, see if how well if the Bulldog manages to get close enough to properly use the Devastators as DPS.
Yeah, I mentioned that last week too. The Devastators, I think, is a really serious choice for that because unless they're at basically point-blank range, they're gonna do reduced damage.
The Wirefoxes are already losing CR.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not long for this world. The Bulldog is getting pretty close here. I want to see if I want to get it closer, but I want to see what Devastator could actually do. And it's not firing it right now, which is a really weird moment. It's getting quite blank range. I haven't actually seen it closer to another target, and it's just not firing the Devastators. It just fires them at the hull. That's proper BM right there. I'm going to kill the ship.
Doesn't even need the armor shredding.
Nope. I'm going to destroy you, and then I'm going to fire my explosives at your hull. Wave 2. I think I should go. I think this one should go quicker as well, I think. Although the Commodores are now reaching their PPT times.
Looks like it.
Urgers down, Hounds are down. Against the frigates, even at lower damage, the Devastators can still, by themselves, pretty much overflux them, overload them.
It's because they're tiny little frigates.
There's still a living mule from the first wave. I wonder if you can babysit that mule until the third wave.
That'd be fun.
That'd be amusing. We'll keep an eye on you. We'll keep an eye on you. Hopefully you still after the third wave. So the Mastiffs, like I think the true stars of the Pack fleet this season, and also I remember it was true last season, were the Mastiffs, because the Mastiffs are just a very, very nice ship. Like the large slot they have that just has the Tachyon Lance just helps so much.
Mm-hmm. And it's in a turret, even though it's an offset turret rather than being an offset hardpoint, which messes with the AI too much. You see it in the Stenos and the Gust.
Also lets it like angle its armor a little bit and still keep its main gun firing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, they're actually hitting. No, they're gonna. No, they killed the mule.
Oh no.
The pet mule is dead.
But who's gonna carry all our stuff?
Who's gonna carry this fleet? Probably the Mastiffs, to be honest.
And this fight's really just spread out all over the place.
Yeah, they really need to get back together again. That said, again, the wire foxes are on low CR.
As long as the Bulldog stays pretty front center, I think the fleet will be able to recover in time for the next wave when it starts. A lot of these fleets with like a single capital tend to live and die based on where the capital ends up being at the start of the next wave.
It's quite central right now, so hopefully
yeah,
it'll pay out.
Hopefully.
Okay, there you go. Wave 3. It's quite central. There's a huge segment of the fleet that got teleported back to the beginning, so... Which means the Bulldog, unfortunately, is caught out pretty much by itself. A couple of Mastiffs moving in to support it. But it's, Also, the Mastiffs can't get a clear shot off of the attacking lances because the Bulldog's in the way. Okay, the Bulldog managed to survive long enough to get a couple of Mastiffs, to get some support. They managed to rally pretty well. They managed to get a line up. Sadly, even though the Tekken Lances are pretty good at pressuring shields, not against a safety overridden onslaught.
It doesn't really pressure so much as it kind of pops them, you know.
Yeah. Also, if they have low flux capacity, it can go straight through them. It can raise it quickly enough that it can force them to overload.
Or the AI will freak out and drop shield. But yeah,
oh, one Mastiff just took.
With these safety override ships.
Ooh, Mastiff managed to just dodge, I think, what would have been death there by missing one of the Reapers from the onslaught. That Mastiff is really like got ideas of its station right now. But go for it, buddy.
Yeah, I'm thinking with the safety over.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
You cut out there a little bit.
Oh. I was saying that with the safety overrides on all the ships, the big ships like the Onslaught and the Dominator just completely nullify the range advantage that the attack helmets provide.
Yeah.
And the Bulldog just ignoring the Onslaught at a bad time.
It's happened a lot, I think. The ones where it goes well is where the capital ship is doing good work, whereas a lot of the times when it doesn't go well because the capital ship is off doing something else or dealing with like inconsequential threats.
Well, that makes sense in a general sort of way because the capital is pretty much going to be a majority of the power, so you need it to be doing something useful at all times. Otherwise, half the fleet's being idle.
Yeah, I think the most successful fleets in the Pather time, I can't remember now, has been where the big ships have actually focused on either the Onslaught or the Dominators, which are the biggest threats in the Pather fleet, like by a huge margin. Who remembers what DME, ORA, and Midtech died at? I think you do.
Aura 3, Midtech. There we go, I wrote it down. I have it all written down in front of me. So that means DME died at wave 3 for 2 points. Midtech, Aura made it to wave 3 for 2 points as well. And Midtech made it to wave 4 with 3 points.
I think again, it's got down to the point where they've managed to thin it out a bit, But again, I think it comes down to the same things every single time. It's like they can clear out the other ships. It's just dealing with the Dominators and the Onslaught, which is the problem.
Mm-hmm. It's CR every time.
Which amusingly, when it gets to the Path of Fleet, you get fights where nobody has any CR on either side, depending on how it goes. And it's like, well, the Mastiffs are now on 10, 15%, 20%. The only one with full CR at the moment is the Bulldog, and the Bulldog hasn't gone yet. But everything else is on really low CR. Same as the Onslaught. The Onslaught's at 70 as well. The Dominators are at 50, give or take. Yeah, Mastiffs are down.
Ooh, the Onslaught just slapped that Mastiff.
You cannot stay in front of the Onslaught. Like, the Mastiffs are really powerful against smaller ships. They don't have the required damage by themselves to even scratch the Onslaught.
Interstellar Imperium made it to the third wave.
I think we're just waiting for, there are several ships alive, but most of them are on single digits. This may be a situation where they get through just because the Onslaught's the only ship left alive. Possibly.
Possibly?
But it's tricky because, again, the only ship that's really active is the Bulldog, who is not engaging right now. See, the Bulldog will have the last CR because now all the CRs are starting going down. The Onslaught will reach 0 CR before the Bulldog does.
Which is good for the Bulldog.
But it's not great for us, because it means I'm holding shift here for a while.
Yep, and it means that half of the fleet's going to die in the meantime.
Unless, now because the Bulldog's having to face potentially off against an Onslaught and 2 the Dominators if they get their act together.
Which it looks like they might.
That Wirefox is distracting the Dominators slightly. It's allowing the Onslaught to get close enough that its weapons can actually do some work.
Entropy Amplifier, it did some work.
I think it used it recently versus the Dominator though, so it'd be serious for it to come off cooldown.
Yeah, it did. It almost took the Dominator down. Oh, that's better. Yes, feed my boundless anger. Bulldog has a good AI personality.
Bulldog is doing quite well.
Yeah, it's doing a reasonable job of dueling, given that it just has like some needlers for kinetic. Or those railguns.
No, the needlers. It's got 2 needlers.
It's not a lot, unfortunately.
No, 2 light needlers is not a lot, but it's getting through. Just they've got enough beams to keep the pressure up, but it's not really lowering its shield very often.
Yeah, it looks like the Bulldog alone, pretty much without anything else, is going to make it to the wave, I would say. Assuming the Dominators don't have enough CR to surround him.
Dominators are on 7 CR, they're going to run out of CR. As is, to be fair, as is the Onslaught. The Onslaught's going to run out of CR real soon as well, at which point the shields go down, everything hits hull at that point.
Yeah, the Bulldog's going to make quick work of them without shields.
12%. Don't fall back. Don't fall back. Don't fall back. Uh-oh. The Dominator at 0 CR is just distracting slightly. Wrong target for the entropy, though.
I don't know. It could finish it off.
Yeah, but you much rather entropy the Onslaught, shouldn't you?
Yeah, I don't think it would really matter because the.
Oh, yeah, it has been entropy. It has been entropy.
Yeah.
So I think I think Path will just about do it. Ooh, what's left alive?
Path will just about do it, or
sorry, Pack will just about do it. My bad.
Pack. Okay.
Yeah. Although there's still enough ships alive that Path hasn't quite called it yet.
Nope, there's at least one Dominator left, and...
There's a Dominator, and there's something else over here. There's an Enforcer over here as well.
Ah.
So... Oh my god, and I think it's... It's too low CR, it hasn't got... Everything's at 0 CR right now. Thing is, last time this happened, it was pretty clear-cut. It's not clear-cut anymore.
Oh, how much CR is the Bulldog at?
0, everything's 0.
Oh man, this is...
Thing is, like, it might come down to this Wirefox slowly, very slowly, literally managing to essentially, use a mining laser to destroy that Enforcer.
Problem is, all else taken out, the Wirefox is going to get critical malfunction to death.
Probably.
This is going back to my my round against PBC in the second AI tournament when I intentionally CR ward and it came down to literally the situation of no one having CR at all, but my ships had more hit points. If you remember that.
I don't think because that was the one I didn't cast, was it?
It might have been Shogun. I can't remember.
Okay, here, I think the Bulldog has it because nothing has any CR. There you go, wave 4. A technical victory. And to be fair,
3 points.
Yeah, 3 points. Now the Bulldog is like, oh no, oh god, help me, God. This is the last death. This is the last death. I'll just hold space for the rest of this. As the Bulldog dies happily, knowing that it managed to secure that last point for Pack.
It died a warrior.
Died a warrior. And there we go, there you have it. That has been all 12 factions in about 3 hours, 47 minutes.
Yep, just under 4 hours.
Just under 4 hours, which is 4 hours was my estimate, so I'm happy that we managed to get under 4 hours. Do you want to do? You wrote it down, so do you want to do a nice recap for us before we?
All right, yeah, I'll do a recap. So, low tech made it to the third wave, scoring 2 points. Midline made it to wave 4, scoring 3. High tech made it to 4th wave, scoring 3 points as well. BlackRock made it to wave 3, scoring 2 points. Dassault DME, I can't pronounce that, scored 2 points from making it to the 3rd round. Diable made it to the 5th wave, the only one to make it there, scoring 4 points for itself. Interstellar Imperium and Aura made it to wave 3, both getting 2 points. And then all the rest, Sigh, SRA, Toreador, and Pack made it to the 4th wave, 3 points each.
I know what that does, the actual scores, if you combine it with last week's. I haven't actually got it down here. I haven't got it down here.
Well, Tart normalized the scores. I actually can look it over and go over the scores of everyone if you want.
Yeah, go on. You can do it quickly enough. I mean, we're here
right.
As it is.
Inventor Raccoon with low tech has 1.03. Sigh with vanilla mid tech has 1 point. The Wet Fish with vanilla high tech has 1 point. Gwyvern with BlackRock drive yards has 1.13 points. And these are all, of course, normalized, so you get a bunch of decimals. Grim with DME has 0.73 points. Dizzy, that is me, with Diable has 1.16 points. Helmet with Interstellar Imperium has 0.83. C. Jusa with Outer Rim Alliance has 0.83. Karoy, Sigh Nation has 1.2. Mendonca with Shadow Yard Reconstruction Authority has 1 point exactly. And Yui Chan with Toreador Safeguard has 0.8. Finally, Auric with Pack has 0.9.
It'll be interesting to see once the normalization happens, what happens with all the points. But apparently, according to Tardy, Sigh will be in the lead.
Yep. I was just reading off the normalized points.
Yeah. Was that including today?
Yeah, that was including today. Normalized score. Sigh is in the lead by like the skin of its teeth, followed by Diable, and then 3rd place is BlackRock. Interesting,
because it's the first time that maybe that mod factions have been straying so strongly. Because usually, pirates usually score really high, but pirates aren't allowed this time around.
Yeah, pirates aren't allowed because demods aren't allowed.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll just end it there because I've been streaming for a long time and my voice is about dead, and I'm sure
All right,
yours is as
bye-bye.
well. They say bye to everybody. So a huge thank you to Dizzy for joining for the stream and providing a lot of
Aw.
color commentary. It was very. I enjoyed it much. So I hope you as well.
right. Have a good day, everybody.
Yeah, if Griffin wants to see with Tardy about his rematch, we'll see about doing that at some point, I suppose. Someone will do it, I'm sure. Anyway, I'll catch you guys next time, folks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.